Welcome into the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 254, Fueled by First Form.
Yeah.
Happy holiday weekend to everybody. Do you know the history behind Labor Day?
Yeah. After Civil War, I believe.
Well,
they all came.
I want a confident answer, not like I
Listen,
believe.
you just put me on the spot, dude. Like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Like, you're asking me about Labor Day. Okay, let me try to think what it's about.
Okay.
I think it's something to do with after Civil War, coming together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole country was all fucked up,
Yeah.
and there's so many laborers that had to come together and built this country back up, and so we celebrate that. I believe it's 1890s.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Just know my fact checkers don't sleep, and they are awake.
Get on it, then. Look, he's throwing questions
I let
already.
them know. I let them know when we're recording, just so like they're on the ball and they're there for me.
Sometimes you think you know, but like there's a lot more to it.
Cam couldn't believe I'm like texting an agent this early in the morning.
Yeah, I just don't bug people in the morning. That's why I'll never be able to do what you do, because I don't like to talk and be on the phone every second of the day like Andy is.
They are awake.
I don't like talking to people on the phone, to be honest with you.
What about texting?
Texting's fine. I just the way you have to do it. It's not for me.
I think texting is maybe the greatest invention.
Well, I mean the phone. You have to put that on.
If you had to give up one or the other, say you can't call or you can't text, which one would you give up?
That's a good question. I'd probably say I need to call you. You know, when push comes to shove, for me to get what I need out, it's hard for me to text. You know what I mean? If I need and not to mention texting, dude, like that's all like documented. You know, whatever you text, it's there. So always remember that.
Some people sext.
Yeah. I mean, that's
okay.
I wouldn't.
No, they send like graphic pics and stuff like that.
Andy, I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like Brett Favre style.
And, with their wee and shit. Listen, if you're gonna send a wee pic to a girl that you're not married to, just remember, man, like that thing,
it might get out.
Like and if you're a woman, remember that too. You know, the filming. I know you're in the moment and filming. Like, fuck, I like to film Kate and I. Don't get me wrong, I would, but then it's like, fuck, where's that thing going?
Do you guys typically do that?
No, we haven't done that. That maybe back in the day.
Is there a film that's out there, like a video?
No.
This guy thinks he's like the Kardashians, for God's sake.
No, I would look terrible.
Oh my God. Ain't nobody watching that.
Back in the day, I'd do it and it would look sexy, but now I look like shit.
They let that, the NHL's letting that kid back into the league.
Which one? Oh, the one that got a blowjob and he filmed it?
Yeah. Well, you don't know that.
Oh, well,
it was a photo that was taken of a lewd act, I believe.
Yeah, so he took a picture of the girl.
We don't know exactly what was happening.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
well, that's what he's in trouble for, Andy. You're acting like I'm like throwing this out there. That's what happened.
We don't even know what the act was.
Well, that's what he's accused of. So that's what we're going to say. And if that happened, he done fucked up. The poor girl, like I feel bad for her big time. You don't do that shit. All y'all remember that. Like, fuck, I'm going to send it to my buddies. You're fucking nuts, man. That is going to get out.
She doesn't even know.
Imagine if you're her dad. Like, you're lucky he doesn't fucking kill you. Like, seriously. So just remember that. It's a lesson to be learned to everybody, especially that kid. Can't do that bullshit, man. That's fucking weirdo shit.
That the NHL should let him back in?
Yeah. Yeah, see, I think. What has he done? Well, has he done? What has he done? Has he gone out and he talked to her?
He paid his dues.
Okay.
Paid his dues.
Okay. Then
listen,
Andy.
It's not the popular opinion, and I'm probably going to take some heat from some of the listeners. I'm sure a lot of my people probably won't.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything yet. I said I might take some. I might take some.
I'm the one that said
but
something.
I'm all about second chances, third chances.
Yes, of course.
I'm fully a believer that anybody who makes a mistake can be rehabilitated. Now, it doesn't mean that you let them in right away. Sometimes you got to take your time. Sometimes you got to evaluate. You got to truly evaluate and investigate the situation. So
he could be. He still could be a creepo and doing stupid shit. And if he is, and he's fucking done so, or he could be a 180.
Can I give you another example? Like Bill Peters, the head coach.
Yeah, that's another one.
Okay, because I got Joel Quenneville's one. Mike Babcock, they just let him back in.
Dude, we all got something, man.
And not everybody's thrilled about that. I think everybody is like waiting for him to make that mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this guy like gave up like 3.5 years of his career because of making dumb decisions, bad decisions in a loud market.
So what was the Bill Peters thing exactly?
Where I will say this, like if you're ever going to make a mistake, Cam, like you better watch out for the hockey media. The hockey media may be among the nastiest going right now.
They'll get you, dude.
I mean, are they worse than like political analysts?
Well,
I mean, they will.
No, they're not.
Well,
But they will.
Cam, it's not like, don't answer like say no, they're not, like it's not even close.
Dude, the political game is on a different level.
Hardcore.
Andy. I know you don't pay attention to it, but it's on a completely different level. So can I tell you what I'm going to do?
What?
Right after this.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make a seafood boil, baby, and I don't give a fuck. I got this really good marijuana at the house, and it done fucks me up. And I'm gonna get my mind right, Andy. I'm gonna go to the seafood place. Kate and I, we're gonna meet up, and I'm gonna get a seafood boil going with king crab legs, snow crab legs, lobster tail, mussels, potatoes, carn, shrimp, and gooey sausage, the spicy kind. Okay. Damn good, Andy. That's what I'm gonna do today. And I'm gonna make mimosas.
Oh, mimosas too?
Yeah. That's what we're doing today.
You like those?
Yeah, I do.
It's kind of like a wife drink, isn't it?
It is kind of yeah, it is.
It's a chick drink.
Yeah, it's champagne. I don't mind that.
And orange juice.
And orange juice with a strawberry. That's what we're doing today. I watched college football yesterday.
Dude, this guy thinks he's like a college football expert.
I don't know why.
He's like telling me yesterday. He's like,
I didn't break it down.
Like I'm talking to Herb Street or something.
No, I didn't break it down. You asked me what I'm doing.
He's like, Ohio State's barely beating Indiana. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, I was at the beginning.
Jesus.
I'm me.
And then he's like, Colorado, man, that is the
fucking Neon Dion.
That's my team, though.
That's fucking Neon Dion. That's actually an interesting story.
It is.
So, this college football is kind of cool. If you think about how important every game is, and even the score of these games, like fucking Mizzou and South Dakota. Oh, great scheduling there. You play a South Dakota team. They should have beat them by 50. They didn't. Things like that. If you put it all together, it's very interesting. Now these motherfuckers are making millions of dollars, and they're getting it's crazy.
Very few.
Yeah, a couple guys on each team.
Are not making millions.
They're making $1 million.
Not a couple guys on each team.
Okay, Andy, Jesus Christ, they're making $500,000. They're making money.
No,
they're making money.
I bet you
still.
maybe
on Ohio State.
Ohio State maybe got a couple guys making some six figures, like low six figures.
Anyway, they're making money. Millions, they're making money, dude, and it's interesting to see. And every game's important. Sorry, can I not break this down without you?
I think college football.
Speaking of narcissism,
is
I can't even talk
right
about
now.
Andy acts like he played.
Well, when you don't know what you're talking about.
How do I not know what I'm talking about?
Give me the highest paid. How many NCAA football players are making millions of dollars?
$1 million or
more. On Ohio State, 1.8 million, 1.5, 1.5.
Yeah, that's Ohio State.
They keep going down. A lot of guys.
I bet you Alabama, Ohio State, those guys.
Auburn because Clemson.
Any of those schools that are recruiting that level of athletes.
It's just unique.
That's how you win the recruiting battle.
Yeah, I know. You know? Why you act like you're fucking some football analyst? I just said I'm watching. You start chirping me. Then I start talking about it. I'm not breaking down plays. I'm just speaking the obvious and how unique it is. And I'm kind of into it. It reminds me of fall. I know you were outside the other day and you made a little fire when it was 140 degrees outside. Kate put the fire on the other morning too. Dude, and we're watching college football. I just liked it.
It got down into the 50s.
So why are you chirping?
At night.
I was just chilling, watching college football. It was quite nice.
I love the fires, man. I mean, honestly, it just makes everybody happy around my house. When I got the fire going, man, we're in a good mood.
Smell.
Life is good, especially when there's a blue moon out there too.
Yeah, that was bright as shit.
Do you know the history of the blue moon?
I believe it's just a cycle that it's in.
So the blue moon, it's really not blue.
No.
Just so you know that.
Although it did have a blue tint to it in my house.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It felt like it did.
On Halloween or something? Or
no, it wasn't Halloween. It was last week.
The other night?
Yeah, it was the other night.
So a blue moon, there's actually two separate definitions of it. But, the definition most of us go by is that, it takes X number of days for the,
cycle
to have a full moon.
Yeah.
Right? So a blue moon typically is when you have 13 in 1 year, where you have 2 blue moons in one singular month.
Okay, that's what I mean. Just like the cycle, like I said.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So that's.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you read something.
You know the old saying, once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon, baby. No, I know. And like the Haley's comment, I'm interested in all this stuff. I like, because living out there, I could actually see a lot better. I could see the skyline a lot better. You can see the stars a lot better. There's not as much, light that goes on. And so, even the planets when they're around the moon, it's pretty cool to go out there. I got my telescope. I'll look at that goddamn thing. Although telescopes are hard because you have to have the flattest ground possible for them to work. And it's tough to find if you bring them outside.
True?
Yeah.
I thought you could be on elevated.
No, you just, if I want to take my telescope outside to my exposed aggregate driveway, it'd be clingy and like you can't. It's got to be a solid.
So
you
when I lived in Flagstaff, Arizona, it's like one of the clearest skies in the country.
I bet it is.
And they have these like conservatories and stuff like that. You can go up there, drive up there. They have telescopes. You can just go look through, dude. It's like, it's pretty crazy when you actually do that. If you really get into like the sky and the stars, I mean, it's not something I did like every single day.
Fuck, I would get your mind right and go up to the.
We would go check that out, man. It was cool. And if you're gonna live in that environment, man, you need to like take advantage of it.
I'd go up to the. There's a couple places. I think the best one's in Hawaii. You go up on that mountain and you could see fucking galaxies light years away. Mm-hmm. You could see like the moon looks unbelievable. You could probably see the flag on the moon. You know what I mean?
Is it still there?
I would think so, yeah. You
really?
think wind knocked it off?
I don't know.
No, I mean, I guess it could have got rocked by an asteroid, and then the power from that, the energy from that knocked it over.
Question, without being chirped here.
Yeah,
because here on the Cam Strick Podcast, there's no bad questions, except yours.
What was my bad question?
Kidding. You don't ask bad questions.
Oh, in interviews I do.
No, you don't.
Sometimes I do. Man, okay. The other day, like, I got a problem. Like, I'm not good at remembering names at all. And I fucked up on the radio the other day where this guy's sitting next to me, folds of honor,
the
nicest guy in the world.
Military?
Yes. Raising money for folds of honor, which like gives scholarships to families where their loved ones die in the military and the kid has a fucking hardcore. Mm-hmm. And he tells me his name, Andy, twice. I'm hosting a fucking show. And I call him, his name's Doug. I call him fucking Greg.
Oh, my God.
I'm an idiot. And this happened to me.
Did he look annoyed with you?
No, but he should have. Mm-hmm. He's a fan of both of us, by the way. The pod, thank God. I didn't know at the beginning. I didn't know he even knew who we were. Is he
still a fan right now? Because you're representing the brand when you're calling him Doug.
Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. And I was like very self-deprecating. And he was probably like, oh, don't worry about it. But I'm bad about that, Andy. Yeah. It ain't good.
Well, here's what you do.
I got to say it 3 times.
No. Here's what I would do. Okay, so if you're like hosting the show.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, just grab your pen and just write it down.
Write it down. That's all you need to do.
You know that, because I've never read off of a teleprompter in my life. I've just never have. I've never done like television news. Yeah. I've emceed events in the past where they give me the option to like use a teleprompter, like a presidential teleprompter type thing.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I don't know. Is it going to go too fast? Is it going to go too slow? I like to be at my own pace. Is it going to like clog up and jam up or whatever? I'd rather just have my script in front of me and just be able to look down and look up and whatever. And scan the audience, you know what I'm saying? But I forget names all the time, though. So bad. So what I was going to say is, so what I find, like, whenever I have to do anything, like, work-wise, whatever, where I have to speak for X number of minutes or whatever, if I write it down right before I go and do it, but my brain just remembers it. If I write it down right before, my brain
muscle memory
remembers it.
I've always been bad, even, like, when I was, like, single at the bar. And you talk to a girl for like 4 hours that night. And she finally goes, what's my name? At the end of the night. And I'm like, fuck. I don't know.
That's okay.
And dudes used to do that, which is the weirdest fucking thing.
That's not going to kill you. It's
embarrassing.
When you have the military guy, when you're hosting a radio show, write the name down.
I was saying it just happened back in the day, too. I just forget.
You don't remember the girl's name after, like,
4 hours
8
of
or 9
talking to her?
drinks.
It's not good.
It's okay.
No, it's a dick move. And if I'm that girl, I'm like, fuck you. 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do have an issue, though, like if somebody asked me about an individual, like, hey, what's that guy's name? I'll never remember it.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
But if I'm thinking of it on my own, I'll remember it easily. But if somebody puts me on the spot and says, hey, what's that guy's name? I can't remember it.
Can't remember. It's not good. Very embarrassing. It's all good.
Hey, getting back to the college football real quick, what do you think of all these, like, kids that, like, transfer around nowadays? They're all like free agents every year, and they bounce around from one school to the next. You talk about the money and the financial landscape, man. That's contributed big time to that too.
Well, if I'm a sponsor and I'm like, I'm going to sponsor this kid, and he wants to, I give him $1 million, and he transfers after 4 months, or he doesn't do shit, or you're like, it's a lot of coin, and I know that's what you do to build up your program. Like you rely on that. But I don't know. They're going to have to implement some rules. I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you. I just
who's your go-to team? Who'd you really enjoy watching the other day?
Let's see. Who did Colorado's awesome. Like I like Dion, man. I like his style. I like his message, dude. He's fucking hardcore. You're not fucking late. You look proper. Like, he's got a little bit of Lou Lamoriello in him, but he's also cool. He played. He's hardcore, man.
I think he lets his guys be cool, though, too.
Yeah, he's probably fun. He understands going out and this, that, and the other. Like, I like his message. The only thing is, like, I'm curious to the religious folk out there. When after a game, you're like, Jesus, I praise Jesus. He was on our side, da-da-da. But why was Jesus on your side?
And not on the other side.
What about the other guy who's a really good dude?
People have been asking that question for several years, Cam, because like Kurt Warner, for example.
Why is Jesus on your side, not him?
Godly.
You know what I mean? Like, did Jesus help you, really? So Jesus helped you with that game plan?
You think, yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
That is I don't know if it works like that. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe the Spirit, maybe he believed more than everybody else. I don't know what it is. But it is kind of interesting that when you hear that, and it's all good. I'm not chirping. I like it.
I like it more when he uses like religion in the context of where one of his like stud running backs, this kid with the last name Edwards, and he was just catching the ball out of the backfield, little guy, and just scampering for like, 50, 60 yards, scoring touchdowns. And he suffered an injury early in the game, and he came out of the game and he said, my foot popped out. And he said something like, I knew God wasn't going to put it. He worked too hard. God was not going to end his season today, Something like that. That's all good. Now, that's a little different context versus we could not have done it without,
I know.
Our faith or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the other team is probably
doing the same thing.
I mean, they played at school called Texas Christian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they got some religious behind them too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's all good. I'm not chirping. I'm just.
Are you going to out-pray Notre Dame, for example?
How do you do? Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How do you do it? You better get on your knees, boy. And start praying.
Don't they have like touchdown Mary or whatever that you can see out of one of the end zones?
Well, it doesn't know how. And look, all you Canadians out there, college football in the U.S. is gigantic. It's like the World Juniors up there for that little time in the World Juniors. Like, times that by 10, and then that's what you have with college football.
You think college football is bigger than the CFL?
Oh, God, yeah, dude. CFL. It's all good. It's all good.
I used to laugh when
they had two of the same names up there?
No, but like Chaser and all those guys, like they're like breaking down, like, and every team in the CFL had the same name. I couldn't even keep track of like which team was which. So then one day, one of our listeners sent a Saskatoon. What's the Rough Riders?
The Rough Riders, yeah.
And there's like 5 Rough Riders in the league. But this was the Saskatoon Rough Riders. A ski hat and some gloves. So Chaser's brother's in town. Chaser's in there, and Braden Shen. They're all like Saskatoon. So I wear it into like the dressing room. The Saskatoon. Dude, they went crazy.
Oh, they love it.
Oh my God.
They love it.
Like, it was like, I mean, I could not believe the reaction I got from those guys.
Do they play in the summertime?
I think maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they compete with the NHL, do they? I
don't know.
I think there's some overlap. There's got to be.
And even, I remember living in Canada, people watch the NFL
and the
up
weather,
there too.
dude, obviously in Canada, man.
Fucking brutal. So, but I remember watching the NFL up in Canada as well. It was on at the bar and stuff like that.
Oh, they're all watching the NFL.
Not college.
Carlo's like the biggest Buffalo Bills fan all of a sudden.
Exactly. But like
he's like running. He's like jumping on tables.
But like college football is not big up there like it is here. It reminds me of World Juniors up there, where all the best kids are playing. Yeah. They're going to play. A lot of them are going to play in the NHL. Yeah. A lot of these cats are going to play in the NFL. They're going to be superstars. It's all good, baby.
But I will say this, man. Deion Sanders, like his son, and then that kid Hunter, who plays both sides of the ball. When I was at Parkway North Cam, I played a little bit of offense and defense.
Oh, they had you doing everything.
That's a
monster back, Brody?
That's a lot of plays, man. That's a lot of plays.
Your team must have sucked.
Narcissist.
No, seriously. Well, that's what narcissists do. They relive their past, thinking it's very important to others, meaning it's not, though. Others look at you and they laugh, but your narcissism, you can't help but think that story's good.
There is a prominent media guy here in St. Louis who, on the air, I nicknamed him the narcissist a long time ago because...
Well, he probably nicknamed you the same thing.
No. It was like an ongoing joke because back in the day...
Who was it?
I'll give my boy Marty.
Who was it?
I'll say it, my boy Marty Kilcoin because
hell yeah,
because he knows I call him that all the time. He refers to himself as the narcissist.
Fuck, he's good.
Oh, he's really good.
He's really good at what he does.
He's funny as shit.
Marty Kilcoin,
and
baby.
We're very good friends. But years ago, when that whole Mike Danton shit was going down and he got arrested and whatever, and I was getting all the exclusive shit, all the content, right? The interviews, jailhouse interviews from Mike, exclusive interviews with David Frost, exclusive interviews with Mike Danton's dad and all this shit. So I was getting a lot of attention at a young age. Man, I was a young reporter. I was like 25 years old. I was in studio for the first time with Fox 2. And he asked me on television, he said, do you think you're only getting all this information and beating other journalists in getting information because you're younger and because like they think they could take advantage of you or something like that? He just said something that kind of crossed.
Really?
Yeah. So my bosses, I was working at KMOX radio at the time, and the GM of the station at the time was like a big dog. He's moved on. He's ran like numerous like big dog like media enterprises throughout the country. Since then, he called him up and shit, and got in his face a little bit about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like don't disrespect our guy type thing, you know. But since then we've become very good friends though.
Yeah,
you know?
Killer's cool as shit.
I think John Hadley called him.
So he thought that
and made a comment too.
well, that chirp doesn't make sense.
No, it didn't.
It didn't make any sense.
No, so he was trying to chirp though. You know what I mean?
That's just all you TV guys, man. Like you guys are so competitive with each other. It's crazy. It's like the hockey parents, the world too. It's
oh
nutty.
man, we got a
Nutty.
tournament going on all this weekend.
Nutty.
There's a bunch of guys though in town. I think who did I see? Ryan Miller's in town.
Oh yeah, with his kid.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Dirks Bentley's in town. He's like at the rink yesterday.
His kid playing?
His kid does.
Nice.
I want to say
He's
they're out
supposed
of
to be pretty
Colorado.
cool. He's supposed to be a pretty cool cat.
His kid-
Dirks Bentley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Curly hair dude.
And the NHL awards show was a little different and all that. You know, he had that kid talking and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I ain't watching that.
You didn't watch that?
The award show?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm just not into it, man. You know what I mean? Just not into it. I don't know.
Well, it was a while
I
ago.
want to get into.
There's like nothing else going on. at the time,
once the
dude.
weather changes, all y'all out there, man. Like sometimes you just have to have. We always talk about that chill zone. Once the weather gets a little bit colder, and Andy knows this too, and he does the same thing. I know he lit a fire the other day when it was 105 degrees out, just so he can make an Insta story post, and that's all good.
It wasn't.
It's all good,
It was
but
the one day where it was like
it's all good.
50 degrees.
I like your style because I'm the same way. But I want to get into a nice book again, a scary motherfucker to where I can't put it down. I used to do this back in the day where you read a book and you have the little setting, you find your little nook in your house or whatever, it's outside with the fire, whatever it is. Hard to read a book outside at nighttime, don't get me wrong. But find a way and then get into that scary book to where you just don't want to put it down. You're thinking about it, you're into it, your whole world kind of goes away and you're into this fucking book. I want to do that.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
you can do that easier than most people.
I know.
Because you don't have people requiring your attention in your house.
I know.
Like, there's no excuse for you not to be able to.
That's that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to get into.
Go on your deck. Go in your basement. Go
Find something
anywhere
scary.
you want to go to, Cam.
I want to find a scary, long, scary-ass book and get me fucking going.
Oh, a scary book.
Yes. That grabs my attention more than anything. Besides maybe old-school historic war books of, like, invading England back in, the 900s.
Yeah.
Vikings and stuff like that. That's cool shit. But I like scary stuff. This time of season, man, it puts me in a different mood. Reminds me of my childhood. Halloween. It's fucking windy, scary out where we live. The rolling hills, a lot of woods. I love that shit. Creepy houses in the woods. I love that. I want to find a scary book. That's what I'm going to do.
I mean, they're not that hard to find.
Well, I just want to find a good one. Just a good one.
Maybe I'll get you one.
Yeah, give me one, Andy.
Yeah.
What did Ivy read? Anything in school?
Oh, she reads. She's been reading a lot recently. I don't know what she reads. Ty's reading now. Like, just
Good.
loves reading books, dude.
Good. Get him into that, man. They'll help him with his vocabulary, all that shit.
Oh, we talked about that.
Oh, yeah?
That last episode.
What?
How to know if somebody doesn't have a good vocabulary. Where they repeat words, they freeze up in conversation.
Oh,
remember?
yeah. Yeah, I need to enhance mine. I mean, big time, dude.
Really?
Fuck yeah, of course. Everybody does. When we talk as much as we do, Andy, you need to. You need to you need to fucking read, man. You need to read up on shit.
I think your vocabulary is all right.
That's whatever. It's okay. It's all good, man. I could tell a story, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm good at telling stories and shit like that.
Would you have any stories that you want to tell us today?
What
tell us a story, dude. Like you have.
I'm trying to think of
something.
something.
The storyteller, tell us a story.
Well, I don't want to bore the audience.
Or your story's boring.
Well, if I can't think of anything right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, when you think of one, let us know.
I will, man.
What do you think of Carl Hagelin hanging him up?
I like him, man. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player. Did his thing. Won a cup. 2 cups.
He had terrible eye injury.
He got caught with one.
In practice.
Yeah.
You know, he hadn't played a game since like March of 2022. So it's been a while. Then he had a chronic hip injury. So I know it's the eye injury probably did him in. He had like that resurfacing surgery on his hip, but then he had to have another orthoscopic. I don't think it was like doing too well in the hip either.
That's brutal. The hip injuries, man, they fuck you up bad.
Yeah.
Big time. I like Carl. Good player.
Mm-hmm.
You know. What's the biggest news in hockey right now? Like, what's the biggest news going? Not much going on.
There's nothing going on.
There's not much going on, dude.
And that's okay.
Like, what do you do?
I don't need something going on all the time. Like, training camp starts in a couple of weeks. Like, it's okay for, like, nothing to be going on.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I hear a lot of people saying that. There is nothing going on. Oh, what do you want? You want McDavid to get traded today? I mean, listen, there's nothing. What do you want to happen?
Yeah.
I don't want anything blockbuster or crazy. Like, I just want to chill out and relax until we get to where it's going to be pedal to the metal for, like, 6-7 months.
No shit. And it will be. And I'm excited about that, man. I want hockey season to start.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking baseball season. Good God.
Do you think
just talking about it every day
do you
sucks.
think teams need to have a captain?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, you don't necessarily need it to be successful, but I would say, yeah, it's healthy to have a captain. That means you have a leader on your team. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't force the issue. If you don't have a leader, you don't have a leader, but it's good to have one.
Mm-hmm. And I saw people change their, like I talked to some players who say, yeah, I don't think you really need to have one. Some would maybe kind of fall in line with what you're saying. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I think if you don't know if you have that guy, or maybe if you feel like you do have that guy, but you're not committed to him long term, I just think that's the issue. If you think you know who the next captain is, but you don't think that young player is quite ready for that, but he will be maybe a year from now,
Save it then.
Then maybe you just kind of chill, you know?
It's a fluid situation. It doesn't need to be you have to have one, but like, listen, how many Stanley Cup teams didn't have a captain?
Gary Bettman would be like, okay, let me think who should come get the Stanley Cup right now.
Think about that. Has there been a team that didn't have a captain that won?
Who should we have come get it? Who wants it?
You know, I'm just saying.
You want to come get it?
Did you see Patty down at the fucking in a hurricane? So the hurricane's going on in Florida, of course, and it's going to be
He's
nasty.
up in Boston now.
It's going to be a nasty hurricane season. So I guess they're somewhere near Tampa, where Tampa kind of got rocked, and these reporters are cruising around the streets, and they see Patty driving his fucking golf cart. I think with his little one, and then I guess I don't know if Fran was there or not. But they go up to him not knowing who he is. And they're like, hi, Pat Maroon, what do you think about the hurricane? He's like, everybody's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. I think it's past now. They're literally asking him what people should do to evacuate in a hurricane. Patty probably didn't even know a hurricane was hitting him. He's outside like, whoa, this is interesting weather.
Oh, that's incredible.
Fucking great. We got to play that clip. It's so fucking
that's
funny,
incredible.
Dude.
I love it when...
He finds a way to find the camera.
Mm-hmm. No, but I love it when, like, celebrity types... are interviewed and the interviewee or interviewer, I should say, has no idea who the interviewee is.
Exactly.
And like we saw that with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes,
you know,
and Chris Long. I think it was Chris Long one time. Mm-hmm. Chris Long was at a gas station. A big, handsome, Howie Long's son, Chris Long. Yeah. And he had like a goofy mustache.
What college did he go to?
I have no idea. But I know he played in the NFL.
Virginia.
I heard he's supposed to be an awesome guy. Yeah. And so and he's got a podcast and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And so he goes into this convenience store, and it's a big Powerball day, and they interview him. They go, hey, sir, if you won the Powerball, what would you do? And he goes, hey, and he starts talking in a hillbilly accent. He goes, I'm going to get as many fucking boats as I can. I'm going to go here. I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to do this. It's the funniest shit. He didn't cuss.
Really?
It's the funniest shit ever. And he's just toying with this chick that's like, what would you do? Meanwhile, he's got like 70 in the bank. Mm-hmm. His daddy's got coin. Like, he's okay. And he just talks about how many boats he's going to get. Just like a hillbilly. I love it, man. Chris Long, cool cat.
Yeah, he is.
Patty Maroon, cool cat. I love it. And the dude from Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
He's a cool cat, too.
Kyle Davidson.
Yeah. I like his style.
You couldn't remember his name?
No, couldn't. Sorry.
That's okay. I bet you
I just couldn't have forgot.
Most people can't remember Kyle Davidson's name.
You know,
Kyle Davidson is one of those guys who will eventually, if things go as planned, become a household name. But it's funny. Right now, no one knows who he is.
What's the update on the con dog up there? Is he smashing Cougars?
Bedard?
Is he smashing Cougars?
I think he's focused on hockey.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
God.
He's at the BioSteel camp, dude.
God, if I'm him, no. You're getting a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. The women folk are staring at you. Yeah. Like, I would probably, just once in a while, maybe during the afternoon, just creep around, go in, and then just see what's up. Yeah. That's all. Let it out. Find a good Coug that gets the game. It's not going to put you in a jam.
Does it have to be a Coug?
Because
like what if she's 21?
It could be, but it's easier to have an older woman that understands the game. Mm-hmm. They'll probably like do things to you too. Okay. Because the younger girl's like, I love you. Do you love me? No, I don't.
Yeah, they're looking for him to date them,
yes. You know? And the Cougs would be like, just fucking bang me out. I hate my husband. And fuck, he's a fucking pain in the ass. My kids drive me nuts.
So this is your advice
fuck me.
to Connor Bedard?
Kind of. Okay. Don't go after the young girls off the bat. Because they're going to want, I love you. I'm connected. Yeah. Meet my friends. The Cougs going to be like, come over here. I got a hot tub. I got wine. I'll do you right. And then I'll drive you home and I'll cook you a fucking meal.
This is terrific advice.
I'm just telling you.
Terrific advice
Andy,
to Connor Bedard.
I'm telling you.
He'll appreciate this.
I'm telling you.
And I'm sure like hanging out with like Nathan McKinnon and Connor McDavid and Crosby and all
that's good too.
They're
that's good too.
They're probably not giving him or delivering this level of advice.
Listen to me.
They're like telling him how to shoot and how to get over.
You can do both. Listen to me. Sometimes you're drinking all that protein. You're taking first form stuff. You're becoming an animal. Oh, yeah. Like I'm like, rawr, and you get horny. You can only beat your dick off so much. Find a good Coug. That's all. No big deal. She'll take care of you. Yeah. She'll cook for you. She'll make your protein. I'm telling you.
She can still be very attractive.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes.
You don't have to go up to like
she's a beautiful woman.
The 3-star restaurant and go hang out at the bar at night looking for some divorce.
Do it during the day. You'll find something. You'll know. You'll know. And the guys know too. And the girl will take care of you, and you can let it out. That's all.
Go into his DMs, maybe. I don't know.
Find a way.
Might be something in there.
No big deal. Just a little bit of advice from me. You got to let it out. That's how you do it.
Coming from experience.
Yeah,
my DMs are always open.
Now Cougar's going to be texting you. God. Mine are open, by the way. We all both of ours are. I love hearing it, man. I love it. These cats are like, I can't get through the day without having me chirp you and them laugh on a long 400-mile drive way up in Manitoba. That's what gets them going. That's what gets them going, Andy.
I used to not leave them open. I used to have everything closed. Like I don't know why I was like that. I used to keep my Instagram page private.
No, these are our people, dude.
You had to request, and I would never accept a request if I didn't know who you were.
These are our people, dude. How many chirps you get on DMs? I barely get any.
Yeah, not any.
I mean, barely get any. It's all of our people, dude. That's how you connect to them.
Well, people don't chirp like that. They chirp on Twitter.
Yeah, they like to chirp. They like to do it loud, and then you message them like, "Dude, what's that all about?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, Cam. Like, it's all good. Delete it. Yeah, if you can."
Like when they go by like Joe Thornton's beard or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, like why'd you chirp me there? No, I'm just most of the time, honestly.
If Cam gets chirped, you'll confront them about it, correct?
It depends on what it is. But most of the time,
I'd say 9.
Well, I don't. It bothers everybody. Who are you kidding? You're the biggest hypochondriac I've ever met in my life. It bothers everybody to a certain extent. Certain things bother certain people certain ways. But for the most part, if somebody chirps me, just like on the text line on the radio, Andy, or whatnot, you'll be like, what was it? Like, okay, dude. And like, no, Cam, I'm joking. I meant to say this, and it just came off wrong.
Yeah.
So people are cool, man. These are our people. That's why I like to fucking go back and forth with him, talk to him and shit like that.
For sure.
Keeps it real, dude.
Typically, when Cam gets upset about something somebody says about him on social media and you confront the guy, they kind of take it back, don't they? Like,
didn't I just say that?
oh, is that what you said?
That's what narcissists do.
No, I'm listening.
They don't listen.
No.
They're thinking about the next step in their life and what they want to do, no matter what.
I was following along the conversation.
Why? How can you not?
But I'm like, they kind of say,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for doing
Yep.
that.
Yep. Or a guy would say, you were too hard on this. And I'll be like, dude, what's up? You'd be like, well, here's the deal. You da-da-da-da-da-da. One was about an Indian reservation where I'm like, yeah, a lot of them are fucking
I've spent
shit.
a lot of time on the Indian reservation.
And I go, a lot of them are not good. And they have a problem.
And a lot of them were
Horrible.
beautiful.
Okay.
I was over
Not
on,
many.
I used to see reggae concerts on the Navajo reservation.
See, you are... you're on a different section. Like, you're watching a concert and the reservation's like 4 miles away and you're like, I was on it. No, you didn't go through
I
and
used to
see
go
what they're doing.
like see all the stray dogs and shit.
Yeah, most of
I
the
used
time
to
they're
go
not
see
good.
the Medicine Man.
So anyway, guys said, they're not all bad. I'm like, I know.
You know who the Medicine Man is?
Well, I knew in St. Louis the Medicine Man back in the day.
We used to-
He'd be dropping shit off at 3 o'clock in the morning on fucking Christmas Eve, baby.
We used to go.
Cost me $1,000.
You ever meditated in like a sweat lodge?
I mean, I don't know, Andy. I've done a lot of shit.
You know what a sweat lodge is? It's like you get
A bunch of dudes hanging out and sweating on each
by
other.
yourself, dude. And you just get it all out of your system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a sauna.
Well, it's a natural one.
Okay. Yeah, I get that, and I would do that. I'd get a sauna for my house.
In the middle of the woods, really.
Yeah, I'd do the ayahuasca thing too. Like, I tried DMT. I told you that. It put me in a fucked up.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Okay, whatever. But I did that. I told you guys I tried DMT, and I was with my brother and his girlfriend. And it was right when Kate was in a time where she was mad at me about something I did, and it wasn't good. Nothing hardcore I did, but it just wasn't good. And I took this DMT and I smoked it. And it put me in a weird trance, and it felt like it was for 3 fucking years, but it was really for like 30 seconds. And I was spinning, and I was thinking to myself, this is the end. And it was really bad experience, and I didn't like it.
Because when you go like to like
my mind was
back
already,
in the day,
yeah.
like if you go to like a Grateful Dead show or even if you go to like a Fish show or whatever, and people who are buying drugs like on the lot and stuff like that, they'll often tell you like there's no DMT in it to let people know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
some
like
people
because
want that. They don't want fentanyl.
Some
they don't want DMT.
Some people do, but like they're usually
like if you're gonna trip acid, man, you're already committed anyway. So if there's a little DMT in that mug, I don't know how you could splice both of them together. But I remember going to Pearl Jam.
I think they look for like a cleaner option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, acid's fucking dirty one way or the other, man. If you're tripping, you're tripping. A clean option would be mushrooms, I would say. Nice mushrooms. If you want to get jammed up and high on mushrooms, like I think that's probably the healthiest thing. I wouldn't touch acid now. DMT, fuck, I don't know. Ayahuasca, if you go, you want to have that journey down in South America and really kind of reset your brain. I get that, man. Maybe I would try that.
It's just like things like that, like old school ways of meditating.
It's been going on for thousands and thousands of years.
Like where it's become like mainstream and you got to pay thousands of dollars to. I'm just not really into that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they have the option. They got to make money. And they know you can't just go fucking find some ayahuasca
like,
in the middle of
like,
Creve Coeur.
Like the Aaron Rodgers, like, oh, I'm a rich guy, so I'm gonna go do it, and then tell everybody. But like, it's like really, it's not like an old school like experience. I think it's a little more commercialized.
Well, they got to make money.
Yeah, I get you. So
you want to have a nice place to go down there? I'm sure you can go down and find cheap versions of that. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah,
they probably have a nice setup, nice beds. That costs money. They have food, they have water, they have all that stuff down there. So they can take care of you. So you spend a lot of money for that.
What did Brian Boyle's dad do?
He went over to like Eastern Europe somewhere. I thought it was like Romania. He found some, I don't know, was it a priest or something?
He healed him, dude.
Healed him. Hey, that happens. Sometimes that happens. I think a lot of it's in your head, though. A lot of it.
What do you mean?
Like,
how can you heal yourself in your head?
You put yourself in because you could get cancer by being down and out and negative. Like, it builds negativity in your soul.
I'm with you there.
I truly believe that. Now, is that scientific? I don't know, but I believe that. And I also believe your will can take you to places that you don't even know exist. Meaning, you ever hear these crazy stories about people's survival? Coming out of something, buried. They crawled out of it. They were stuck somewhere and they waited 4 days and they got rescued. Like, your will could take you. Your body could do a lot more than you think, dude. If push comes to shove, getting out of jams, like it truly, truly can. So my point is, if you go talk to somebody that really pumps you up and builds your will, knows how to look at you and build your will, you could do a lot more. Your body changes, and it maybe will help fucking fight off that cancer. Maybe help fight off something. Maybe your mind goes so crazy that you can lift something up so heavy. You ever see this video of a helicopter fell, boom, crash landed in a pond? These two Samoan guys go up, and there's people buried in it. And this guy lifted this helicopter
Buried
up.
in the helicopter?
Yeah, stuck in mud. And this guy's out of craziness picked it up like, because your will could take you.
Adrenaline, yeah.
That's more. But
I've
you
seen,
have to build your adrenaline up through your mind.
I didn't see the Samoans in the lake. The Samoans, do you know who they were by any chance?
It's an old video.
A lot of Samoans in the NFL, you know.
You know that. Yeah, because they're big. I know, I'm just saying, like your mind could take you to different places. It really can. Your willpower and your mind alone could really, really help you. Well, you just have to build it up, and that's the hard part.
Yeah, you've heard the stories of like when a car or a bus is on top of like a kid and the mother like lifts the car off the kid. Yeah.
Or a mother like fights off somebody. Or like
I used to think I could do that, and I would try to dunk the basketball. And I thought I could.
See, that's where the narcissism comes. No. Andy thinks this way all day, every day. Andy thinks he could play in the NHL. Andy thinks he could be the cornerback for the fucking Packers. Andy thinks that's narcissism. Your will ain't there. You think your mind is playing tricks on you because you think you're better than what you are.
At football?
At everything. So it's all good. I told you I got a bit of that too. I admit it. You know, not to my coworkers and stuff like that, but it's more to, I think, on a day-to-day with Kate. And it's better now, but, like, it's always about me. That's my day all about, you know, like, that's, well, you got to balance
sometimes
it.
You should, like, take her to dinner and, like.
Dude, listen.
Like, take her out,
dude. Do. I'm making a seafood boil for her today.
Have a nice romantic weekend.
Oh, we're going to make
besides
Alaskan
where you want it.
Crab cake. No, I know. She goes wherever, man. Like, she could do what she wants. I ask her, like, what do you want to do? We'll do this. Don't worry about Kate and I. We live a great life.
I think you need to take her out to dinner for a nice romantic
so now that October comes around, that's where Kate and I do our vacations. So I know I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to scheduling, unlike you, because everything revolves around Andy and, you know, tournaments and whatnot. If I had kids, you wouldn't be here, Brody. You wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have the time to fucking do what we do every goddamn Tuesday to bring the heat for all these motherfuckers grinding and doing our shit that listen every Tuesday. Good thing my sperm doesn't work, because we wouldn't have a podcast.
Oh, good thing your sperm doesn't work?
Good thing for you.
Sheldon Keefe signs a contract extension. I don't think many people in Toronto had.
What do you think of that?
Had Doobie-Doo getting fired and Sheldon Keefe getting the contract extension.
Were you surprised when you saw that?
Not really. Because Brad Treliving seems to be like a pretty level-headed guy.
Yeah.
And what does a 2-year contract extension mean from a commitment standpoint if you're Brad Treliving and you're the Toronto Maple Leafs? Say they lose in the first round again this year. I mean, he could get fired after this year.
And fine.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to be there for the next 3 seasons. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He got a 2-year contract extension. Most coaches, if you have leverage, don't go into or like to go into or try to eliminate the situation where you're going into a season as a lame duck coach. You want that contract extension. So he got a 2-year extension. They're making minimal commitment to him beyond this coming season. And if it doesn't work out this season, there's a very good chance that he gets fired.
And so what? And then fire him. And he's committed. And I think the guys do like him. And I think if you really went down that locker room, including the big dogs, they're like, no, we want to play for Sheldon.
Yeah.
Now, has it worked down the playoffs? No. But I put that on the players. Like, I really do. Like, a lot of that is like this little things where the battles in the corners and whatnot. And yeah, maybe Sheldon could be like, hey, get him going a little bit more. But fuck, these guys are older now. They're making a ton of money. It's kind of on them. So I don't mind it. I saw it and I was like, oh, interesting. And then that was it. But I was curious what you thought. Were you? Like,
yeah, I don't know what to think. I mean, this team has not had any playoff success, so they just better figure it out.
Better figure it out.
You know what I mean?
Better figure it out.
He's got the players. Listen, if I'm Sheldon Keefe, I'm looking forward to working for somebody different than Kyle Dubas, too.
I agree.
You know, he's had that relationship with Dubas for several years, many years, long before he ever found his way to becoming the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So they go back to the OHL and all that stuff and whatever else, you know, or you know, maybe even before that with Pembroke. I don't know. They have a long history together. So they've always been there for one another. Sometimes it's best to like branch off. And now you gotta like earn the trust, and you gotta learn to work with different people. And maybe Brad Treliving is gonna be good for Sheldon Keefe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Mike Sullivan's gonna be good for Kyle Dubas.
Yeah.
Maybe Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang. Maybe these guys are gonna be really good for Kyle Dubas.
I know. I like that Mike Sullivan too, by the way. And I think that's a good balance, too. Mike's probably like, no, I think we should do this. I think there's going to be a little bit of a counter there when it comes to big decisions.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like Babcock was with Dubas, too, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I'm excited about watching Pittsburgh play, dude.
Me too.
Let's see Chrissy Letang come around the net 10-2 and throwing sauce passes up to Crosby. Let's see Erik Karlsson doing the same shit. Now, you got a couple right-handers back there. They're going to – who's going to be – like, Chris Letang's a big dog there, dude. Like, he owns the decor.
Yeah.
He does his thing. Now he's been fucked up. Heart attack?
Strokes,
What?
dude? I don't know, man.
So, like, we don't know where his health is going to be.
Keeps coming back and playing.
But if you're Chris Letang and you are good and you want all the cookies, like, that's going to be a little bit of a competition back there, Andy.
A little bit.
Like,
but
okay.
But I don't look at it as a competition. I mean, if you're Erik Karlsson, you're coming off your third Norris, dude. You're quarterbacking that power play.
Yeah, you probably are. Making a lot of money.
Whatever happened to the old school power play where you had 3 forwards and 2 defensemen? Why can't you do that anymore?
You can. You just have to have the. Well,
you can
both
still
right-handers.
You can
too.
still run like an umbrella or whatever you got to do.
It's your best players.
Your best
Who
players.
are your best players? I don't give a shit who it is.
Yeah.
5 forwards sometimes. Who had 5 forwards? A couple teams.
Oh, the Red Wings.
The Red Wings back in the day. Well, I think.
Yeah, the Red Wings would do that.
Fetisov maybe
They'd
was
put Fedorov on the back end.
Yeah, well, Fedorov was a D for a while. I miss that old shit. I don't know why. Like that old school style back in the 90s. I don't know what it is. I can't help but watch some of these old games, Andy, on NHL Network. That guy, the Devils were playing the Flyers and like the Eastern Conference Finals, back in 90, whatever the fuck. I am glued to that for some reason.
I'd put 4 forwards out there for a overtime.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't ever understand why everybody's got to do the same thing.
Who's the best players that's going to score the quickest?
Right away.
Right away. Like, get the fucking puck in the net, regroup, and let's go.
And let's get out of here. Do you know somebody got shot for accidentally going into the wrong car in the parking lot? You know how many times I've done that?
Yeah,
I mean, and luckily now there's not too many racing series.
I say it's more
cars that are parked in the parking lot.
Yeah.
There's only like one or two.
Yeah, it's the old lady.
But I remember one time we were in the middle of nowhere, dude, driving to Hannibal to
I like Hannibal, Missouri.
Oh yeah, my buddy
I do.
Was flying us out of the Hannibal airport. That's where his plane was. And so we drove to Hannibal and we stopped at like some like middle of nowhere Missouri town gas station to pick up some drinks, you know.
It's my people right there.
To go on the plane and whatever. And he was in like a black Denali and he was driving, my buddy. And so I went into the gas station, whatever, convenience store, whatever, bought a bunch of shit, came back out. Dude, there's a black Denali right in front of the freaking gas station. Right in front of it. So I just open the door and go right in there, and she starts screaming. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. And then quickly told her, that's my buddy. You guys have the exact same car, identical. I'm sorry, you know.
Well, if that would have happened.
She could have shot and killed me.
Well, no, if that would have happened in North County, you would have died anyway. But like there, I think people will give you the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you're scared of the people up in Hannibal.
They're not afraid of me when I walk.
They're not afraid of you, dude. Trust me. They're not going to kill you for that.
They're like, oh, this little 8-year-old tried to get in my car.
Yeah, this little guy. Like he's actually kind of cute. We laughed about it. Now, Hannibal, Missouri is beautiful. Very historic, too. Very historic up there. Right by the river. Awesome. Love that shit.
There's a lot of history there.
Damn right. Mark Twain. All that stuff, baby. Huckleberry Finn. Let's go. Badass book.
They learn about that everywhere in the country or just in Missouri?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would say probably more. Well, Mark Twain was worldwide.
He's a bandit.
He was worldwide.
Who was the bad guy? You know what I'm talking about? The outlaw.
Oh, Jesse James, motherfucker. Jesse fucking James, baby.
Yeah.
That's Missouri through and through right there.
He's from
Jesse
James,
from
over there, too.
Hiding in all those caves in middle Missouri.
He'll fuck you up.
He'll fucking rob that train. Actually, he was supposed to be I don't know how to.
A good guy.
A good bandit, for the most part.
Well,
like, that's what he did it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to rob trains, he did it the right way, meaning he didn't fucking kill everybody. Like, he did it the right way.
Yeah.
Now, his people with him, you have to control them. They were hardcore as well. Now, he got shot by his buddy. Got jealous of him. Shot him right in his house.
Really?
Yes, in Missouri.
Who did that?
The guy that he was with, his like sidekick, just kind of turned on him.
He just turned on him like that? And
Jesse
he killed
James.
him? How old was Jesse when he died?
Probably 35, I would say.
Maybe not even.
Maybe not even. You're right.
I'm thinking he's
very
in his 20s.
notorious. Really fucking cool, man. That's Missouri history right there. Like robbing trains, doing this, doing that. Fucking
What are they
crazy.
stealing off the trains?
Oh my God, you got all these wealthy people riding the train back in the day. Just like riding in planes was that's where the wealthy did for the most part. You know what I mean? Like even planes back in the day. Like look at the planes back in the day, dude. It was like champagne everywhere. The flight attendants were beautiful. Like it was only for the wealthy. So really commercialized.
My kid asked me the other day, how does a plane get up in the air and fly? Like, I don't have the answer.
Just look it up. It will give you a little breakdown.
Well, I was driving.
It's like you have lift, and then the way the man, I don't fucking know.
Do you think cars will ever fly? How come cars don't fly?
Well, a helicopter is kind of a car. You know, like
I'm not getting in one of those.
Listen, they say that it's not going to be more about flying cars. The way they're going to disrupt the traffic is they're going to build underneath.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And just have like little areas where you can go underneath tunnels, and you have one side. So you just like, instead of building wide, you build under. And a lot of these like really congested areas, you just start building under and under. Now you got to get permits for that. Elon Musk is building tunnels left and right all the fucking place. And then, but like in the U.S., like in Missouri, like you can't just take the train anywhere. Everybody drives in Missouri. Everybody drives in St. Louis and stuff like that. You go out east, you can get on trains and stuff. You can't really do that here. So they're going to have to figure a couple different things out. Whatever happened to that goddamn tunnel train that's like goes like 400 miles an hour, that little Zoom thing that they're supposed to build to go from St. Louis to Kansas City, St. Louis to Chicago, New York to Washington.
The subway?
No, it's called
it's like a bullet train.
Bullet train, but it's like fucking rocket boosted.
Oh.
Really, it's called the L, or no, not the L. It didn't make any sense. Something. But they're supposed to build these things where from L.A. to San Francisco, you can go there in 40 minutes. I don't know where they're at with it, but supposed to do it. Supposed to figure this thing out. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Instead of driving everywhere. I hate flying too. Fucking hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't like the process of flying, but I don't mind getting there quickly.
Yeah, well, no shit. If you do, you know what I mean?
Once you get on the plane, it's fine. But the process of getting to the airport.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I'm looking for a new car right now. I'm trying to decide what I want to get. My kids keeps telling me what to get,
Yeah, listen to them. They know.
Cam says to me the other day, you're lucky we're not recording right now.
Why?
Because I told you Ty was like, get a Porsche.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ty said get a Porsche. Like, oh, okay, Andy. Like, listen to Ty. Jesus Christ. Andy wants to get a car that makes him look cooler, where I just say get something nice that's good in the wintertime, that the kids are comfortable in. But Andy has to be like, oh, it's not good enough. When I pull up to the rink, I need people to know that I'm driving a Porsche. And I'm like, I wouldn't do that. Like, something goes wrong.
Say that.
Yeah, you did. And if something goes wrong with the Porsche,
I did not say that.
And so, no, that's what you think, 100%. You want people to look at you differently because you think that's cooler to drive a Porsche rather than a GM Yukon or something like that.
No, I think my kid wants me to get a cool car.
Who cares what he wants? A Yukon's a cool car. It's $100,000.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ. See, that's where that's where you need to, come on, get realistic here.
Listen, if it's not from Bellman, we're not getting it. That's what I told him.
Well, good, because, Vucinovic has a Porsche. I want to get one. No, it doesn't work that way.
Although a lot of these players, man, they get these electric cars.
You do?
And then, these like electric Porsches and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then they come back from being gone all off season, and their cars won't work.
Oh, yeah,
That's happened.
That big battery doesn't work.
Yeah, that's happened with a couple of guys.
So
and now their cars won't work.
And you can't, like, it's hard to fill
It's like,
up.
but I charged it all summer. Yeah, but those things didn't work.
That battery.
So, like, they're like Ubering to the rink and shit.
The battery's out again.
until
$150,000 car.
I know, until the car gets fixed.
Battery doesn't work.
Jeez.
But it's not one of those batteries you can just, like, take out. No, that battery's like the
you
whole
got to have
car.
somebody to start the car for you. Maybe.
The whole car is a battery. Mm-hmm. They're huge.
You don't buy into electric cars?
No. Eventually, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just not ready for it yet. They're very expensive. Mm-hmm. Are they worth?
Do you save money because of the gas?
Maybe there's a tax rates and different things like that you can write off because of buying electric. Mm-hmm. That's good. Gradually, let's get going there. Yeah. I'm not ready for it yet. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if it's reasonable, and like it's easy to fill up. I understand it. Gas is still pretty damn high. Don't get me wrong, but I'm personally not ready yet. And I think the country's not ready yet to go full force on this. But yeah, like we have to start moving in that direction. But like electric cars aren't perfect either. I told you where that cobalt came from.
Hey, a couple things real quick. I'm sorry to all my people out there in Saskatchewan, East and West, whatever, PEI. If we're not, like, this is a little bit different time for us today. It's a different situation, so
it's all good, man.
Trying to grind it through. Phil Kessel now says he's willing to end the Ironman streak. Well, thank you, Phil.
Cool.
Thanks, Phil. You should. I mean, this whole thing about like playing guys because they have streaks.
Nope.
And I'm not saying Phil didn't deserve it because he's been a great player for a long time. But I remember being hard on Bill Zito, the way he was handling the Keith Yandel situation, and I kind of regret the way I reacted to that.
Why? What'd you say?
I was like, "Oh, this is so disrespectful," and blah blah blah.
No, screw that. Dude.
And I'm like, this dude's trying to win, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got to like play a defenseman because of an Ironman streak.
Fuck that.
So
no, I agree.
I said that at the time, and I just kind of, I don't know. And Joel Quenneville was the coach, and he's probably like, "Fuck, man,
fuck this.
I got to play somebody." And nothing against Yandel. He had a great career too.
Yeah, of course.
But probably not the same level of a career that Phil Kessel has had. Phil Kessel's a Stanley Cup champ. Obviously, came into the league with a lot of hype. He was a phenom as a young kid growing up. A tremendous goal scorer, an elite offensive player for a long, long time. But to say that it's a story that Phil Kessel is willing to end Ironman streak to go sign another contract, well, no shit. Who the hell is signing Phil Kessel and be like, well, you're in the lineup for 82 games?
No, dude, it's ridiculous.
Like
ridiculous.
And let's be honest, Phil Kessel, is not in a situation now where he can truly like help your team. I mean, maybe if you need to like add another contract, maybe if you got a young team is going to be terrible, maybe. But it's not like he was in the lineup during the Stanley Cup run for Vegas. I like Phil Kessel a lot. But I feel like maybe a contract.
Well, you think he's at home doing like fucking burpees and shit, trying to work on his speed?
Yeah, maybe.
I doubt it. He's in checkout mode, and that's fine. And he's had a hell of a career. He's not going to have to work another day in his life. But yeah, the whole Yandel, the whole Iron Streak thing. No, if they're not ready to be in a lineup, if they're not able to play well enough to crack that lineup, I don't give a fuck about that Iron Man streak. No, you're coming out, dude. It is what it is. And that's on you.
Don't put a coach in that situation.
No. Like, it's been good, but dude, you're bad. I got to take you out. You can't be like, well, let's get them to hear it.
I want to hear these guys say that before the streak is over. Not when they're like flying to Detroit, playing one shift, and then leaving the game.
Yeah, I know. It's too much. You're cheating the system.
To go see the birth of your child. I mean,
cheating the system.
Because the history of the Iron Man streak, like the original Iron Man people, like the Gary Youngers of the world, and something they weren't doing that.
No, and they
weren't like, let me continue. Let me just play one shift, and then you don't have to play me the rest of the game just to continue the streak.
No, they were.
Or I'm gonna play one shift, and I'm gonna hop on the owner's private jet, and I'm gonna go see the birth of my child. Like, it's like, what if you can't make it, you can't make it. The streak just comes to an end.
Comes to an end.
It's like
nothing changes.
It's like Patrick Marleau. Okay. We're going to sign you again, Patrick, so you can just replace Gordie Howe.
Yeah, I know. Gordie Howe.
Howe.
Jesus. I'm sorry, man. Like, there's only maybe a couple players that beat Gordie Howe in anything, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. But that one, I'm like, Jesus.
Jay Bouwmeester has one of the more impressive streaks ever because he played a hard game.
He did, man. He was taking shots, blocking shots.
Yeah. And he played every game.
Yeah, he did. I like J-Bo.
And he was playing 20 plus, 30 minutes a night. Man.
Yeah, he was.
All right, let's get to Matty Tkachuk.
Yeah, live.
The first player to join the Cam Strick Podcast twice besides Brett Hall.
Nice. Pretty good.
And the second time Brett Hall came on, he went in on a political rant, but he came on to promote his product that he had never tried yet.
Yeah.
We love Holy. Holy always has an open door policy. We'll get him on hopefully a third or fourth and a fifth time.
Whatever you want, Paulie.
But we try to spread it around. But a guy like Matty Tkachuk, man, we had him on earlier in his career. His status as an NHL player is completely different today than it was when we had him on before. He just went through an incredible run with the Florida Panthers. So he's back in town. We talk to him all the time. We might as well get him on. And he's cool as shit, dude.
He's so cool. Whole family's cool. We talk about everything. He sat in here for an hour and a half with us. Mm-hmm. All good, man. So I wish we had a better video.
We took video.
We tried to take video.
It'll never be seen.
It wasn't good. Although we need to do that.
The video looked like, those FBI interrogations.
Yeah, it did. It looked like we were interrogating
Where
him.
were you?
Yeah.
What color shirt was he wearing?
We have your DNA.
Hey, come on now. Let's just make it easier for all of us. Yeah, we know you did it.
We know you did it. No, it was embarrassing, but it's all good. We got audio for you. There you go. We're gonna change that up anyway, man. We're gonna put a camera in our faces.
It's all good.
It's all good, baby.
It's all good.
We're entertaining you one way or the other.
Matty was great, man. People will enjoy this conversation. You'll love it as always. With Matty Tkachuk, man. So much shit to get into. We could have gone on for another 2 or 3 hours. It's like, when people are like, how come you didn't ask us to know about Andrew Ladd's contract? It's like, fuck. We had Andrew Ladd on. We asked him about the contract.
Oh, yeah.
We
did, didn't we?
Yeah.
He was cool.
He was great. I mean, some things you just can't get to everything, man.
No.
And then I feel terrible because I forgot.
It's all good.
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask him about Jared Spurgeon too, man. They didn't sign him after they drafted him. Yeah. So they missed out on that one too.
Can't get to everything.
Matty Tkachuk on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form.
Yeah, baby. We just had a nice little workout there with Nick.
Yes.
First Form Nick. Feel good. Wearing all their shit right now. Doing my thing.
They got the pumpkin protein bars out right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Are you a pumpkin guy?
Nah. Not really. I like pumpkin pie. Mm-hmm. And I like pumpkins as a whole.
Yes.
And I think there's a backstory to the jack-o'-lantern and all that stuff from back in the 1600s.
Probably not good.
It's pretty scary. I like all that stuff.
Probably controversial.
I like the Headless Horseman. I like that. Even with the Johnny Depp movie, the Headless Horseman, the pumpkin and all that, I just love that kind of scene, in the middle of upstate New York where it's creepy and historic.
The history of the pumpkin is probably controversial.
Jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, it's something.
It's probably like if the real story ever came out, we probably would never have pumpkins.
It's something
again.
To scare somebody.
Yeah, we would never have jack-o'-lanterns again.
Something scary that went down.
Let's probably not. Let's hope they don't even reveal the real history. I don't know, and I don't know it. But chances are they're going to want to cancel the.
But I don't like pumpkin spice stuff. I'm not into the pumpkin spice stuff. I'm not into it. Kate is.
The smell's okay.
Yeah, I liked it. But pumpkin candles.
I'm not into pumpkin lattes and all that type of stuff, man. But you'll get into the pumpkin protein and all the protein, Cam, at First Form, dude. That's what it's all about. Use our link, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. When you're going to the website, you're trying to figure out, what do you want to start with, Cam? Over at First Form, because they got a lot of different products.
It depends on what you're doing. What do you want to do after a workout? You hit that ignition.
Yeah.
You got that the good protein, the First Form protein. I like. What did we have the other day? Strawberry and kiwi or something?
No, cherry lime. Dude.
Cherry lime. God,
oh
dang,
my God.
boy.
I tried to buy it the other day. They were out.
Cherry
so that's
lime.
How popular it is.
Whoa.
Yeah, but they'll have plenty more in stock.
Damn good stuff.
Listen, if you're a newbie to First Form, or if you're just getting going, here's the basics of how to get started. First and foremost, get that First Form app.
Yeah.
Get the app.
Start with that.
Because that's what I use for my workouts right now, Cam, is the First Form app.
I bet you do. They need to tell you what to do.
Do you see me doing that Stairmaster?
Yeah, you're holding on to it for dear life. You're not supposed to touch the fucking
I wasn't
railing.
doing
Yeah,
that.
You were leaning on it.
I was going hard. You know how many stories I went up?
No.
30 stories, dude.
That's the hardest piece of
It's
equipment.
like a fireman walk.
Stairmaster.
That'll get you in shape.
Oh, fucking A, will. 13 minutes all you need.
The level 1 protein.
Level 1 right there.
That's where you start.
Yeah.
Get the level 1 protein. The Formula 1 protein. They told me the Formula 1 protein the way to remember which one to get between level 1 and Formula 1, because Formula 1 starts with a P. Mm-hmm. Formula 1 is what you use for the post-workout.
Yeah.
The level 1's more like lifestyle type.
Like
stuff.
It's a meal replacement.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly. So Formula 1 PH, remember, that's the post-workout. Get that protein. The collagen is phenomenal. My wife is all over the collagen, man.
Women folk love that.
They do, but it's for men as well, man. The microfactor, which gets your body in tune together. It's a good vitamin to have. And then the OptiGreens, man. I do the fruits and the greens every single morning.
Yeah. Damn good stuff.
After 12 noon.
After 12. That's all you eat is for.
So that's what you need. You have any questions? You want to know that rundown again? Reach out to us, dude, and we'll get that to you. Use our link, firstform.com/CamandStrick. Firstform.com/CamandStrick. You got to use the link. The Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Ooh, baby. Doing damn good things over there. Helping people out left and right. Getting a lot of messages.
Yep.
You gotta get a hold of them. Get a hold of them. They're right there in Swansea, Illinois. They'll bring on anybody. Chrissy Pondoff and Eric Conley are running a great show over there, man. I tell you this. They've been through hell and back. They understand what's going on, and they know how to help you. Andy and I are going to go there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They got the gym going, by the way, Andy.
Check. Are we going to work out there, too?
Yeah, probably. I'll show you around. It's awesome. It's really pretty out there. It just puts you in a good mood. Mm-hmm. Listen, you're going to go through hell one way or the other, but sometimes it's better to go through hell when you know the people that are helping you understand what you're going through.
And they've been through it before.
They've been through it before. You'll get out of it. You're going to start being healthy again. You're going to get on First Form, and it's going to be a new you.
Yeah.
A whole new life.
Is that a winning combination or what?
A whole new
Illinois
life.
Recovery Center plus First Form?
Yeah, I know. Well, nice little stepping stone.
It
to
is.
get going. Damn right.
To get healthy.
Yep.
You talk about getting your mind right. That's how you get your mind right.
You're right. Absolutely right.
You got to give them a call. 888-743-0971. 888-743-0971. You can email them info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. Eric and Chrissy, we can get you in touch with them personally. Yes. If you want to talk to them, you have questions for them, you can do so. Because we all know, listen, when it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help should not be as difficult as it currently is. And that's why the IRC comes in. Their mission to be the receiving hand when someone is seeking help.
Yes, you guys know somebody that knows somebody that has somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yes.
We all do. Help them out.
Yes, we do. Illinois Recovery Center.
Yep.
Tesson Roofing, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Nano Shield. I was telling people about the Nano Shield all last week, and it was 100-plus degrees. Huh. And they're sweating in their house, and they say, why do you look so comfortable? I said, well, I got the Nano Shield. It's like 30 degrees cooler in my house than it is in your house.
And Andy doesn't have sweat glands, so it helps. You don't.
But Brett Tesson, man.
Oh, he does.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kickers too.
Yeah.
You know, they'll help you.
Doing that roof.
Ooh, doggy.
I had somebody reach out and be like, hey, listen, I would pay for Tesson. He's in Canada. He said, I would pay for Brett Tesson to come do my roof in Canada. Can you make that happen? I said, call him, dude.
Yeah, it might be tough on him, man, because like they got so much work to do over here. Like
I said, call him. Maybe he will.
You know, we don't want to cater to that. But if you move down to Missouri and you have a house and you want to get it protected, then they certainly will help you.
There was some video out there or something about Brett Tesson. Like he did something where like he was like being asked to explain like some like major achievement business wise that he was able to, how he made like $500,000 doing this little trick. It was like a business trick.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a smart dude.
Very amazing.
He looks like a shit kicker, but he's fucking smart as hell, too.
Shit.
Yeah. And a good guy.
Get your new roof and get it today. TessonRoofing.com. And ask about that Nano Shield. I mean, the cool coat, man. They just spray paint it on your roof.
Easy.
It's amazing.
It's easy. Get it done.
Why wouldn't you do it, Cam?
I don't know.
No, why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you use a Spark skate sharpener?
Well, I like to have edges. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, dude. If you don't have an edge,
you look like an idiot.
You're falling to it. Just completely ruins. Like you would hate hockey, honestly.
Yeah, well, they'd hate you too.
Hockey hates you back.
Yeah.
If you don't have an edge.
Like who's this moron? Like stand up.
Can't.
And you keep getting ice time. You turn the puck over because you're toe picking everywhere.
Oh my god.
Falling into the boards.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, rolling their eyes at you. Then you won't come off the ice because you're like, I could be better than this. No, you can't.
Yeah.
Then you can get off the fucking ice. You're terrible. Your skates are fucked. Seth did them.
Oh.
Idiot.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah, you had an idiot do it. Actually, a weirdo idiot, just so you know.
That explains it.
Probably put a tracking device on your skates so you can come creep out your family. I'm just saying. Weird things that boy's doing.
Yeah.
Weird things.
Mm-hmm.
Got to keep an eye out.
Yeah,
no
be
big
careful
deal.
with that. Hey, use our promo code Cam Strick. When you get your Sparks, you're going to save more money than you'll save on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, baby.
Hell yeah.
Save you lots of money. Get the Sparks and get it today, man, and have the best season of your hockey career by using a Sparks. Sparks.com, baby. Check them out on Instagram and all your social media channels as well. Bellman and Bellman.com, baby. Say hi to Danny, boy.
Hey, Danny, what up, man?
And what about Dale?
Dale, what's good, baby?
And what about Kenny?
Kenny, the fuck are you doing, boy?
All of them, man. I thought of Bellman last night. We had sushi last night. And it reminded me how you can get sushi when you go into Bellman, dude. They give you flavored water. They treat you like you're a king or a queen.
I mean, they do that, but
yeah,
the
they
sushi
do
thing's a
that.
stupid
I'm looking
fuck.
for a new car, Danny boy. I'm coming out there.
You go get one.
Buick GMC on one side of the street, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on the other side. You can get any car you want, man. They got something for everybody.
Hell yeah.
It's important, man. What's more important, to have something you can drive through for the winter or to like enjoy during the summer, man? I mean,
the winter time's coming. I'll tell you that right now.
Winter time will be here. What kind of winter do you think we're gonna get?
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be very snowy, icy.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be a lot of school days off. Fuck, they have a dusting you get a school day off here in St. Louis.
Oh
man.
my God!
I think it's going to be a clusterfuck.
They thought about giving days off because it was too hot.
Okay, I don't mind that either.
Yeah, because like it's too hot to stand at the bus stop and stuff.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Bellman and Bellman.com. Where are they located?
Troy, Missouri.
Just a skip, hop, and a jump.
Yeah,
from
it's not
St.
far
Louis,
away.
man.
Yeah.
Very close. Great people. Great supporters of the Cam Strick Podcast. Great supporters of hockey, man. We love everything they do over there with Bellman and Bellman.com. So get out there and visit them today. All right, Matty Tkachuk. You
Yeah,
talk
baby.
about a shit kicker.
Yeah.
So much to get into with Matty. Enjoy it. Matty Tkachuk on the Cam Strick Podcast. The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form. Use our link, firstform.com/CamandStrick.
They are the real deal.
Get your protein, get your bars, get your apparel, get everything you need from the one and only First Form.
Yeah.
Firstform.com/CamandStrick. Now to the interview. What's up, Matty? Is that how he started? Fucking say something, Cam.
What up?
Jesus.
I'm pouring a beer, man. Matty, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming in again.
Yeah,
to this beautiful office.
Yes, it's beautiful.
You're the first player we've ever had on twice, besides Holly.
Yeah, holy.
Holly's like, I've got something to promote. And I'm like, Holly, well, tell us about it. He's like, well, I haven't tried it yet. I'm like, well, you got to try it, and then you can promote it.
Yeah, he doesn't smoke, dude. No, we got into politics with Holly. Like, we went down a rabbit hole with him. He was fired up. He was fired up because he was golfing, and we annoy him, of course, but he still did it, and he had to pump his own product up, so it all worked out. But it kind of went crazy at the end, a little bit.
I can't believe you drove your own car to from Florida to St. Louis. Like,
shipped it, but yeah, there's too much stuff that I had to get out of there. I had a lot of my Calgary stuff, so I just need to get that.
Are you completely out of Calgary?
I am. Yeah, I've got nothing. Yeah, I don't even have my winter clothes anymore.
How'd they treat you
shit.
when you went back there?
They treated me actually very well. I thought that everything went good. I mean, obviously, I think that I was a little, I wouldn't say like surprised, but during the summer, last summer when everything happened, I think they just turned the page quicker than I turned the page, which I get it. I'm not a part of their team anymore. Like, they have no, like, trust me, I get it more than anybody that they can turn the page, and now they got these new guys coming in, and you're old news, and yeah, whatever, it is what it is. I love my time there. Had a blast going back there. I mean, it was good. I got a big round of applause, and then they booed me for the rest of the game.
Cares. So that's a good thing. That means you're doing shit on the ice.
They did the same thing for Johnny. I remember when we played against, I think that, Johnny and I, we had some good years there, and we had some success. So I think they were probably upset that when we, left, there was no more of that. But hey, they're definitely in a transition with some new guys, and still keep in contact with so many people up there. And I'm excited to go back this year. We have 3 nights there, so be able to show some.
What do you mean, like days off, you mean?
Yeah, we have well, I don't know if they're days off, but we were there
in like the middle of January.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah. But it's still gonna be good for me. Like, go to a few restaurants I like. Go to show the guys, like, I don't know where I'd go for coffee. Like, maybe check in and
go say hey to some people that are good to you, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They all were. They all were.
Did Johnny, remind me, did he sign in Columbus before you got traded or no?
Yes. Yeah. He. I was in Greece for my parents' 25th anniversary and 50th birthday. They took it,
Yeah.
How was that? Pretty
Oh,
cool.
it was the best trip ever. It was amazing. So when I was over there, like I still had, service and everything and was paying attention, but not really. Like time change, I wasn't really paying attention at all. And then I landed in, went from Athens to Greece, back to Boston, or from Athens to Atlanta, back to St. Louis or Boston, wherever I went. And that's when my phone started blowing up and I was like, Johnny's not coming back. Johnny's gone. And it didn't say even Columbus. It was just Johnny's not coming back.
He'd always dreamt about being in Columbus.
So,
Oh, yeah. Who hasn't?
So I was just, I kind of was just, I wouldn't say not caught off guard, but I pretty much had a feeling that it was 50-50 if he was coming back or not. And, and then he
You
chose
did it
him.
right, though, man. Like, not right, I guess, but you did the right thing by saying, like, okay, hey, man, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
You guys do what you have to do.
Yeah, no, I
It'll work
mean-
itself out.
Yeah, like looking back, it's everything's, you could change a little thing here or there. At the end of the day, I couldn't have put both sides in a better position, I felt, at that time. I mean, I could have easily just been like, sign my 1 year, and if I really didn't want to be there, which, isn't necessarily the case. It's just, I loved Florida, and it just worked out perfectly the way it worked out from my side, at least.
Did you know you would like it that much?
No, not to this extent. I knew I was gonna love it, but
Like, what do you love the most about
Yeah,
it?
like, what is it?
It's such a bad answer, but literally everything. Like just like the guys, the town, like the activities that you're able
Way
to
of
do.
life.
Everything. I was talking to some of my buddies the other day. Like some of our fondest memories was having, like 10, 15 people from St. Louis down there and just sitting on my balcony, like the porch, and you're just outside and it's just so nice out.
The breeze.
Yeah, you're
Everybody's in a good mood. You're
blaring
going to the
tunes
rink
till
and
2 a.m.
I
and
know,
like
dude.
it's not even fully dark
It's
out.
fantasy.
Yeah,
It really is.
It is, and it helps too that like when you're at the rink, it's as business as you could imagine. Like it's I could even argue more of intense setting than, I mean, intense is not the right word, but you're there to win hockey games. You're not there for a good way of life. That's not what the Florida Panthers are about anymore. So it's the best of both worlds for me. I can go there, do my work, and everybody's on the same page with working hard and grinding and wanting success. And then I'm able to cut that off, go home, and I still love watching hockey at night. It's not like I'm out fishing, or playing golf every single second of the day. Like it's still a hockey player and still love what I do, but it's just everything about like the people down there. Everyone's having everyone's fun.
Hey, the
Everyone's
weather
fun.
makes you happy. But I bet you it hasn't always been like that, though. Like it's probably like a mix of the group that you guys have in place, the coach you have, the general man. You gotta create that environment.
Yeah.
Because like they didn't win all the time, right? I mean, even in Arizona, like you talk to like their GM, it's like when he took the job, he's like, I got to figure out a way to get guys who want to play here, not just live here. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think that Paul and Bill are both amazing at what they do. They really are. Like Bill obviously has his agent background, so you almost look at it like he will give you every single thing that you need to perform. And it doesn't matter what it is. He will find a way to make that happen. Nobody also expects the most out of you. And he's also, I wouldn't say, hard in your face about it, but, if they're going to, do things for us, they expect.
What about Russian gas?
No, we don't need that. We don't need that. We have.
Seems like you guys
have the most.
You guys fucking bust your ass.
The
man.
most in shape Russians on our team, and Bob and Barky a bit. So, but like he's been amazing. Like ever since I got traded down there, like Bill's been incredible, and Paul as well. Like I know that we were laughing about it the other time when we were on this. We were talking about how the Winnipeg Calgary rivalry.
Oh yeah.
But I
in the
truly
bubble,
say, yeah,
right?
Yeah,
And something about him holding the door or whatever.
There
like
was there was some intense playoff games in that bubble, and but I truly mean this when I say this. He has made me so much of a better player, and
really?
it's whether it's all the detail, whatever it is, but he has just made me and trusting me and allowing me to play the way that like I have to play to make myself and if I'm playing with you, make you successful. If I'm playing with you, so he kind of gives me a little bit of leeway in the sense that, we trust each other, and he's been amazing, and he's the perfect coach for our team, and like you guys even see like all the stuff during playoffs and him on the bench, like it's just calm. Like we had a calm,
we talked about
fun,
that a million times. You're right.
Yeah, and I talked to him a couple times. Like we talked about him coming on and stuff like that, and we get into like bear hunting or something. Like I just like listening to him talk. Like he just has a certain type of delivery that and a certain type of confidence that not every coach
He's
has.
that great mix too of he was coached for forever, and so he's got that old school like if you're not going to play hard, you're not going to play sort of thing. But he's also like, in the relaxed, if you're not having fun at the rink, like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the perfect mix. And it's obviously you would think that every day would be fun in Florida, which, I mean, you're still a hockey player. So when you're losing, it's not that fun. But he continued to make each day, like there's no dog days. There's, we're just having a great time. And when you do that, you seem to win more.
So say you're at home, you got a homestand going on, you got a couple days off, you have a hard practice.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing right after practice? Like, what are you doing with the guys? If you have a day off and you could kind of chill,
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if we're playing, we'll just use days as an example, maybe like Monday and Thursday. So you practice, Tuesday, we'll see you at the rink Thursday. I would say, or maybe day off Tuesday, whatever. I don't know. There's normally golf involved. I have a few jet skis, go out there. Most of the time, it's just a bunch of people coming over and hanging out outside and just
shooting the shit.
Yeah, just
like you have your teammates come over, whatever.
Yeah.
You're that guy. Everybody's coming over.
There's family that are in and out and friends, and it's Florida. There's some great restaurants and great stuff to do at night.
Is it too much? Like where like people want to come down and visit you and shit? Where you're like, man, I gotta fucking chill.
No, I would say that most of the people that I'm surrounded by too like aren't like doing that, like
we're doing this.
Where it's like they're all there, and whatever I need to do if I need to go take a nap, they're not gonna like hold over my head. They'll just go to the elbow room or something. So
elbow room with the cameras on you.
Yeah, exactly. But no, everybody's really good, and that's one of the reasons why I want to go to Florida is so that more people could come down. I could feel like I'm playing at home.
You play better when they're watching you.
Oh my gosh, if I'm having fun, it translates.
Yeah, you're like they're all here. Like I'm putting on a show, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. What's it like walking into a new dressing room? Like even though you're an established player already, and everyone knew who you were, and everyone was excited to have you on their team, you're going to help them win. But is it still like that first day? Like, okay, this is a little different.
No, I know people find that hard to believe, but not for me. Like I got down there pretty early, probably around this time.
Okay.
Let's call it 3-4 weeks before the season, and there weren't too many people there yet, so I was one of the first people. So just getting to know, those 2 or 3 guys that were in town, and the next day a few more. So just like whether it's going to lunch each day or just meeting a different crowd of the guys, and I really think that translated. And I think one of the biggest things was early on is I never wanted to overstep either. I wanted to go down there. I wanted to make the team better. I wanted to play my game. I wanted to win South Florida. So I went down there and I was like, this is your guys. You guys have had success. Like I'll fall in line. And that's not what they wanted. I had guys like, Barkey and Eki and Patrick Hornquist and all these guys that, wanted me to step into like that leadership role with them. So they made it so easy for me and wanted me to maybe even be uncomfortable in the sense of leadership and style of play and everything and have guys follow. And I think that. So
you weren't like in the first practice, like, I need the puck here. This is what I do.
I still don't do that, but maybe only do a few guys. But no, I feel like I've played with these guys for 20 years. Like I know them all.
It's
like
nice, man.
It's the best feeling when you can go into a great locker room and know that you're going into a great locker room. So
and then you guys win. You guys have so much success, but like your status as a player, like I mean, and your recognizability, all of that, like has just gone crazy. Even though you were playing in like a big time market, like Canadian market, where I'm sure like people notice you everywhere. When you're walking around Florida, like people know who you are. They stop you.
Those
like,
Cougars
know are they like Matthew? You want to come rollerblading with us?
I would say the best way I've explained it is after the All-Star game, more and more people started to realize. Kind of, I don't want to say what hockey is, but what the Panthers are and some of the players.
They
and
still
everything.
don't know what hockey is.
But
they know who you are.
Who cares?
They all know now. But And at that point at All-Star, like, we weren't doing too well either. So, like, we were middle of the pack, and we weren't in playoffs. So, I wasn't taking it to heart that they didn't know who we were. Like, we were not playing good at all. So, then All-Star happened, and then we sneak into playoffs, within that last stretch. That month of March was really big for us, and more people are just, like, gaining traction. Yeah. And the fan support was insane. And then we get into playoffs, and then we're playing Boston. So, it doesn't matter how great our fans are. They're unbelievable, but half the rink is Boston fans. So, we have that, and then the fans are into it, with their fans and passionate, and then we beat them, and then the Leafs are in town. It's the same thing. And so I think the teams we played almost gathered more fans from people in Florida because they're like, screw these Boston and Toronto people, like, they're not coming and taking over our city during this. So, and then by the time we got to, through Toronto, we had all the support you could imagine, and it was incredible.
Who's the best team you guys played in the playoffs?
Vegas.
Vegas was the best, and they were clearly, a step above us, which it obviously hurts. You can use every excuse where, we weren't healthy, they were healthier, but that's a bunch of bullshit. Like, we got outplayed, and even though we had such a great run and we were so close, we're still, there was a team out there that was better than us. So that's we have
a long break too, man.
And we have a lot of work to do to get hopefully back there and finish the job this time. But Boston and Vegas were very similar. They were the two that were a step above.
Boston, though, like at the beginning, where being in the locker room and like this, like kind of like your mindset going in, it was like fuck the world, let's go.
There wasn't. I said it after we beat them, but there's nobody in the world that thought we were beating them except for the boys.
Fuck it, let's
do
it.
What made you believe though? Like, did you guys? Because I don't even know how the head-to-head matchups went during the season and whatever. So, you really felt like you guys were good enough to beat them.
Yeah. Yes, we were. We got Benny. So I'll just give you the whole story as fast as I can. So we play them 4 times during the regular season, twice in Boston, and we get smacked. The one time, I guess it wasn't 2, but we got smacked.
Yeah.
2 times we played them in Florida, we beat them pretty good. And, like, the one time we tied it up late, but we actually played good. Like, we deserve to win those games. So the way I look at it going to playoffs is they have home ice. They have all the pressure in the world on them. Like, we have a better chance than we even think right now. All we have to do is win 1 game in Boston at one point this series. And I think winning that game 2, which tied up the series, gave us so much confidence that it doesn't matter if they come down to Florida and they beat us up good in games 3 and 4. But even going back to Boston, we're like, guys, we just won here. We're down 3-1 now. Like, nobody thought we were winning a game. So I remember we're flying back to Boston. Guys are down. We're down 3-1, but there's still life. And the message was, make them come back down to Florida. If they beat us down in Florida, whatever. Make them come back because they don't want to come back.
Yeah.
And the second we won Game 5, you could see it on everybody's face. We knew we were winning it all. We were winning that series. So it was like you can't describe feelings like that.
Yeah.
And
this
just
happens.
And just like the way Game 6 went, like Boston held leads. They never gave up a lead, and we did it like 3 or 4 times in 2 games.
What were you thinking though? Game 5 when Marchand's on a breakaway though at the end of the game.
God.
Yeah,
he could have called series. Like, he had the game on the puck on a stick at the buzzer.
Even before that, like, we're going out there with 3 minutes left, I think it was, and it's loud. The rink was pretty loud at that point in the series. Game 5 was loud. Game 7 was not loud, but Game 5 was very loud there. So, it's hard to hear and stuff. I just jump over thinking I'm up, and it was Stalzy's line. So we get a delay or too many men, and it's all my fault. All my fault. Nobody else really knew what was happening. They're like, what just happened? And I was like almost like the horrible my fault. And it was 3 minutes left, and their power play was lights out at this point in the series. And even then, I was like, we're killing this off. Like, I'm not worried about it. And then same thing with Marchand breakaway. I'm like, Bob's feeling it right now. Like, this is his first game he started, and I don't know how many weeks, but he's gonna make the save. And it was just that feeling, like it was like that Cinderella story almost, where you just knew didn't matter how it was gonna go, you were gonna get it done. So yeah, that was. I'll have memories from that series for the rest of my life.
The whole run, man. The whole run.
And the one thing that, we were preaching before that series, mainly, Paul and the rest of the players, like we probably won't have as an organization a tougher series for the rest of our careers than that. So like we got through that. That is like it's almost like it's like a legacy game for the guys and like the organization, like that we were able to conquer something like that we can bring on for the core guys is still there, so we can bring that experience.
Yeah,
even though soul now,
even though the Vegas one hurt so much, like we can bring what led to that, and hopefully start off the year strong and keep it going.
Yeah, once you break through, man, anything can happen.
Yeah, it's amazing too. Like it sounds so stupid, but you win a series, the teams are down half just like that, and then you win another one, and then there's 4 teams left, and everybody's watching you every night. Yeah. It's there's nothing like playoff hockey. I haven't had the, I guess until this year, the team or I guess really individual success. But when your team's on a roll like that, like the whole world's watching, and it's
Let's
really
go,
cool.
baby.
Yeah.
I know, man. And you got to have that swag too. And like you always have it. But like when you score in your overtime winning goals and you're just leaving the ice right away, like when do you start thinking about that? And are you telling anybody on your team like, hey, listen, when we score, we're not celebrating on the ice. We're getting out of here.
No, I remember doing it in Game 5 against Boston when I scored. Like we hugged quick, and I was like, let's just get out. Let's go back to Florida now. Like keep this going. Let's get back. And so we we did a little hug, and I was first one off, but nobody really talks about it. We're all filing out, and within 15, 20 seconds, everybody's off the ice. So I'm in the locker. I'm like, oh, it was pretty funny or whatever. Game 1 against Carolina is the 4 overtime. I think it ended at like 1:30.
Oh, God,
painful.
God.
Like my feet are.
When did you stop watching that game, Cam?
I was up, baby. I was doing my thing. I'm watching Matty.
But no, I can't even describe how much my feet were hurting. At that point, like my skates are loose, like sweat. It was
horrible.
Gross. But scored that, and I just remember shooting it. I couldn't see the puck going, but I turned and looked at the bench, and everybody just like that feeling of everybody jumping up. That was amazing too. So, and I was just so tired. I got off the ice, and everyone was like, "Did you just get off there?" I was like, "Yeah." I was.
Were you so, as tired as you've ever been? I mean, like how exhausted were you?
Actually, not. I felt I was awful that whole game, like in the actual game, and then once overtime kicked in, like I don't know. I was just like, I got to make up for that.
Get that power, baby.
Yeah. So your Russian gas thing.
Get
right
that Russian
there.
gas.
Yeah.
You kept scoring, dude. Like
It just
late in
comes to you.
games and like overtime.
No,
Are you even like, what is going on here? Like, I mean, like you expect to be that guy. Like, everybody says they want to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it always you?
Well, I just think that everybody wants. Well, maybe not everybody, but I think most of the players that have success want that puck on their stick in those important times, win or lose. Mm-hmm. There's been plenty of times this year where I, have had a chance to tie it up or whatever, and it hasn't gone as good. So you have to be able to live with the good and the bad, but it doesn't matter. You want that puck. You want to be the guy that can be in that situation. And I think I'm surrounded by so many great players on the team that when something like that happens to me, like that's because of what they did. I'm just was able to be that guy at the end. Like I look at the second game in Carolina, it was an amazing play by Benny and an unbelievable pass by Rhino to give me like an easy tap. And so like I'm the guy that's able to do that. But if it's not for those two,
yeah, but you were open though. You were in the right spot.
But those I'm surrounded by so much talent in Florida.
Yeah. That was power play, right?
Yeah, it was power play. But I got there at this time last year, and I knew they were good, and they just won President's trophy and were that elite team, but I didn't know it's still an underrated market, an underrated team. Yeah. So I think we're just going to keep riding with that underrated.
What is it though? Like you are in the right spot at the right time. And I know you could be like, hey, the team does this for me. No, but you're doing something. Like, what is that? Like the little things that you do to get in the right position to score these big ass goals at these times and games that are so relevant. Like, how do you do that? Is it in your blood? Like, what would you say to somebody that has a kid that needs to do the same thing?
Because even like the Olmark giveaway, like if the puck just finds you in that situation, right?
I just
how do you explain that?
I think that my dad always preached, like he was always, him, Cam, better than most people, and he just lived in front of the net, and so did my brother and I. So, like, if the puck's going to go in, it's going through you, or it's going by you, and you're going to take...
May even hit your teeth.
You're gonna, no, I'm not going to wood, but it's...
well, no, what happened to your dad, though?
We know.
I think my dad regrets that one. He's like, I scored a lot of goals. I could have gone without that one. But, just be around the net. Like, you're going to take some physical abuse some games, and you still do in the NHL. I know it's not like it was him playing against Hatcher or Foot or those guys, but like you still gotta earn it to score. So
you be in front of the net though, you're still taking abuse. Like, are you spinning off guys a different way? Do you find a way where, okay, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna cause havoc, and then I'm gonna creep back out and get open? Like, is there some sort of system to it? Because anybody can go right in front of the net and be like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
But like, you doing something different to where you find a way to get open at the right time. Like,
yeah, I think you just can't get your stick tied up.
Okay.
You can't get tied up at all. And I always like to be in front of, so like say you're standing in front and you're getting boxed out. I try to be in front of the D. Yeah. So, you can push him off and then you can jump to the slot to get open. So I wouldn't say there's like a recipe to any of it. At the end of the day, it's the puck's there, who's going to win that battle. That's more of like kind of how those net front guys make their living. So, and I actually learn a lot to give him a little shout out here is Brady, because I personally think that he's one of, if not the best in front of the net when it comes to, spinning off and getting his stick free and just winning those battles. So, everybody compares us as players and thinks we're like, the exact same in this. Like we couldn't be, especially as the years have gone on, there are some similarities, but we couldn't be more different. I think. So I still like watching other guys and their tendencies and their strengths and trying to bring it to my game. So I'm able to watch him. So I think that's a better question.
You'll study Brady's game?
Yeah. Oh, I watch every one of his games pretty much. Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
I'm still, that's still part of me, ingrained in me from when I was younger.
Well, of course you want to watch. I mean, he's your brother, but you'll study like his tendencies though too, right?
Now I normally watch... I'll just watch like whatever the best game is, or if it's tied, late in the game, I'll just turn on whatever game. But if he's playing, I'll mainly watch him. And I have the ISO cam on him sometimes because he's my brother, but I'm not really like too involved in watching like a specific player. I know that when I switched to right wing last year, I watched some of the elite right guys who were playing their lefty playing right wing. So I watched a ton of Kucherov and a ton of Panarin, and I know people are gonna like laugh like, why the hell would you watch those guys? Like, you're so different. But like, I really think watching those guys has like elevated my game and some of the plays I'm able to make and the way I'm able to see the ice and
get open, get away from guys.
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
Kind of like almost hide a bit. And even though like you look at some of these players, like, like Kucherov, like how is he open so much? Yeah. He's one of the best in the game. And some of those guys have like this sick gift where they can just like get lost. So I'm still trying to learn stuff like that.
Have you changed your game at all? Like, I want to say like you and Crosby are the only two players, maybe in NHL history, that have back-to-back 100-point seasons and 100 penalty minutes, something like that.
Crosby had 100 penalty?
Yeah, twice, back-to-back. I just gave the stat, back-to-back 100.
You've been wrong on a lot of things lately.
I'm pretty sure. But have you, like, you got involved in so much shit, like, early in your career, like extracurricular stuff and whatever. And now I feel like maybe you play a little bit of a quieter game with some of that stuff, but like your production's just going through the roof. And your reputation as a player for like who you've always been, like a skilled guy, just an all-around like great hockey player. I think people now just focus on that versus like, well, here comes like Tkachuk versus Doughty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's I'm especially playing in Canada, like stuff gets just escalated so much where people like if they look at you as something, you're looked at as something.
Yeah.
I'm still
can't shake it.
I mean, I'm sure in Toronto I'm still looked at as that. Like they just won't cut the cord on how I, what they maybe used to think I was or something. But I've evolved, I think, as a player. From year to year and just picking up little things. I still have that same mindset that I had when I was 18, when I was 14, when I was 10, like playing, same competitiveness, same, screw you, I'm winning this puck. I'm getting this back. I'm scoring this goal. Like that same mindset, but I know that I'm needed more probably on the ice than, mixing it up with. And, there's always, I know Paul likes to get on me sometimes if I'm, in a shoving match with a player that I shouldn't be in a shoving match with, that it's only out there to play, not too much, or I don't know.
Intimidate him. Who cares?
Yeah.
Intimidation.
Yeah, but I also still think too, like, my brother and I, if we're playing with that intensity and like even if we are, I don't know, being over physical or sticking up for guys, like if we do it, the rest of our team's gonna do it. So I still think that's an important thing, but I don't know. I've evolved. I don't really know what's changed. I'd say I've just continued to work on a ton of skating and skill work in the summer and just puck handling and just just try to protect the puck as much as I can and try not to put myself in too many bad spots.
Going into this off season, which is very short, like every year, like do you think of different things for your workout? Like what do you need to work on specifically this year? Is it always your 3 steps? Is it always speed? Like what is it?
Well, this year was a little bit different just with the injury. So early on it was PT, and now it's catching up with some strength work. But I can say that conditioning wise, I haven't had a summer where I focus so much on like, am I going to be able to play like last summer? Am I able to play 25 minutes hard? No, this year I think I can. Like
well, you've done more cardio and stuff.
Way more, and kind of been focused mainly on that. And I think last year I got away with, I wouldn't say got away. That's a bad way to put it, but like it's weird. Like as the season went on, I got better, I got faster. So I know last year I focused a lot on that, and I wanted to make sure that going to Florida, I wasn't thinking like, they are expecting a ton out of me and I've got to do this and that. Like I'm just going to be myself, but I hold myself to a way higher standard than anybody will hold me to. So I'm like, I want to go there. I want to be the best player I can be. I want to play in every situation. I want to play all these big minutes and I want to be good at it. Whether that's going to happen and it means to be seen. But I think this year, like knowing kind of what Paul expects from me, how he uses me, I'm able to like change my program a little bit. Like I know he plays me a lot. I know what playoff overtimes are like now. I feel like that now, and like last summer, I was almost indirectly training for those long playoff games or those long playoff series. So kind of just picking up where I left off with that. But I would say that focused a lot more on conditioning this summer and trying to catch up on the strength stuff just from the injury. But I'm pretty much back and. Well, I am back to 100%.
You look good,
He's
man.
back.
Take your shirt off real quick.
Hey, what do you think of the microphones on the do you even like think like you've always had like a sharp, like, very witty, like, I mean, some of your one-liners are hilarious. You hear about them. I think even like Barbecue Bruce like said something like that you said to him on the Bruce Boudreau. Like when you said something to him on the bench, like, are you like something about like the matchup, whatever, you skated past his bench and something like, are you putting those guys out against me or something?
Oh, yeah.
But
I've used that one before.
Oh yeah, but like you and Noshek going at it, and like you got the guy between the benches like telling everybody what you're saying. It's
I think that it's good for the game to have, I know when I was younger, I couldn't wait to watch like the Winter Classic 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
Like the guys mic'd up on the ice and what they're doing off and just day in the life. It goes like that. To me, the NHL's got to do a better job of doing stuff like that. Like we got to find a way to, like, have you guys watched that Netflix show with the quarterbacks?
Oh yeah,
like
man.
How great is that? Or the
It's
golf
awesome.
swing?
Would you do that?
I would do that. Yeah, I think most people probably would want to do that.
But
would you and Brady have your own podcast like the Kelsey brothers?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think we have enough time.
Day in the life of what you do is
and I think that it's evolving more, but it's more evolving like through like the players and the teams and like the league. Like I don't know.
No, you're right.
Feel like,
you're right, dude.
But it is a little bit weird with. I think players don't like some of the mics and some of the cameras 24/7 just because like you're almost like walking on eggshells and like sometimes even all the stuff's happened with like people and saying stuff. And I mean, even when you go out nowadays, like you got to be careful of like everything and anything because like there's cameras everywhere. You look. I mean, my brother and I were just in UVA visiting our sister, and we're at like a party on I don't know if it was a party. It was just, at the bars and going through the college campus and everything. And even there, people are recognizing us and, there's pictures everywhere and stuff. So, like, it's kind of gotten, it's amazing and it's great off the ice to have that. But, you got to really be careful and everything. But on the ice, I would say most players, to answer your question, aren't fans of it because it's not really helping anything, and it's not like they're using it. They're only using it when it's bad. It's like they're not really.
Yeah, but I like Hard Knocks, man. All that, like, it just makes the game so much better. Like, it's
I think if it's used properly, and the teams are amazing with it, and getting so good, like players' mindsets. Like, everybody wants to grow the game. Everybody wants to make more money, obviously. But at the end of the day, like, people just hockey players want people to realize why we love hockey so much. So they want to show that. So if it's used the right way, I think it can grow the game a ton.
All right, what's up with all the cell phone videos from people's weddings, though? I feel like other athletes in other sports, like who are star players, that they got to be getting married too at some point. And I don't see like videos flying around from all their weddings. Like, you're just trying to enjoy yourself. Who's taking these videos and putting them on social media? And does that bother you?
I don't know. I kind of going back to the point, like, you just got to realize that wherever you go, it has a chance. Social media is
at your
nuts.
friend's wedding?
Social media, yeah, but all it takes is somebody that is a hocky fan to put it out there, and then there's a few million people seeing what you're doing. I mean, I know that. I think Brady's gotten burned a few times with his shirt off at the bat.
Yeah, he's singing.
Is singing like Mr.
He's got Johnny Hockey on his shoulders.
Yeah.
You're standing right next to him.
Just don't. It's all fun and game until like you have a bad stretch.
I mean,
and then people are gonna be like, "What's the?" They're tie things together. It's all good.
It's like it's hard to put it, because at the end of the day, like, stuff like that probably makes hockey, I wouldn't say hockey players, but just athletes look like crazier than what they are. Like, nobody's actually doing that. Like everyone's just
at home on a Monday.
Yeah, it gets kind of like outrageous sometimes. Like, I know, like, every time like there's Mr. Brightside comes on, like, now it's like, where's Brady Tkachuk singing it, karaoke with his shirt off? It's like, that's not real. But I don't know. People are, I guess they just want to see what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Hockey players are
Brady got more attention than you in the playoff series in Calgary.
Yeah, and I think my dad got more in Florida.
Oh my God,
he was on TV every time. So
because Walt, man, like,
we talked about that a bunch,
and he, like when he says yes to things, like, he's just real, and all of a sudden he's like doing somebody a favor, and he's like, I'm gonna be real because I am, and he does, and it just blows up, and he's probably like, God damn it, it worked out, but I.
Yeah, he's just
when he called you guys soft. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've asked some of your teammates this too. We had Brandon Montour on not too long ago. And,
great guy.
And,
great dude.
Oh yeah.
Great.
We've had Gudis on before. We had a bunch of dudes, man. But like, when your dad goes on Carlo's radio show and like makes that, I talked to him that day. He's like, "You think this is gonna blow up or whatever?" I'm like, no, it'll probably just blow over. I don't think it'll blow up. And then all of a sudden, dude, it's everywhere, and everyone's promoting it and tweeting it out and stuff like that. And then you got Paul the next game, like, just going crazy on the bench. And so I think honestly, I think it did have an impact on the team.
I don't know. I just think that. I mean, I don't want to say I do or I don't think so, because I don't know what guys. But at the end of the day, like, you're with social media now, like, you see if you have these things and you go on it for some reason, like, it's popping up. So like, there's no way a player's on their phone on Instagram or Twitter and doesn't see it. It was impossible.
What'd your teammates say?
They were like,
they all know who your dad is.
Yeah,
right?
and then, like, it was nothing bad. It was like, I mean, when I saw that, I was like, come on, like, Dad, like, what are you doing?
Were you pissed?
I was more pissed because I wasn't pissed at him or at, the radio show or anything. Like, it's just, we're at an important stretch. Like, we don't need to be worrying about that. Like, maybe he had a point and we weren't playing. I know at that point we were not playing good.
He was staying at Brady's house when he was doing this, right? Weren't you guys playing in Ottawa?
We just played Ottawa. So then, well, that's why it's crazier too, is because then, like, we're in this race and there's a few weeks left, and then we're in Toronto, and how Toronto, everything just blows up. So I think it was way more crazy because of the market we were in, like the time and the place. But like, we knew in the locker room, like, we were playing awful. We were like, really, like, we had a chance to make playoffs, and then we lose 4 in a row at an important time, and like, we're losing them like badly, like, not playing hard, not playing. So I mean, the players are feeling the same way. Like, we got to fix this. So I think that it was just one of those things that maybe, and then to Paul's point, like, or to your point about, Paul freaking out, like, I'm sure Paul felt very similar too. And then, like,
yeah, dude.
That's when he, during that game against Toronto, like, we're on our last life and we're playing like that to start the game. And he's just like, I've been good all year, boy. Like, screw you guys now, sort of thing. And then I think that was, that game was our turning point. We won in overtime and then won like 6 out of 7 to make it, or 7 of 8. So
and then Chicago beats Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Were you guys watching that?
We were.
Oh my God.
And we just played Toronto, and we either needed, if Chicago beat Pittsburgh, our game didn't matter at the end. We were playing Carolina. I don't know. Everyone makes a big deal about the game. Like, if we had to win that game against Carolina, like, there was no chance we were losing it at the end.
So you guys still could have made it if Pittsburgh beat Chicago?
Yeah, if Pittsburgh beat Chicago, all we had to do was beat Carolina, and then we were in. So.
Well,
nobody talks about that
but
anymore.
Carolina, though, was pretty damn.
We beat them 4 times.
Yeah,
we were beating
but you
them
put
that
yourself
Hey,
in a
no.
jam.
Rob Brindamore said they didn't lose, though.
Yeah, they didn't lose.
Yeah,
They didn't lose the series.
How's your body, man?
That one confused us a little bit, but no, body's great.
We didn't lose the series.
We didn't lose. No, you lost 4 in a row.
They have a really good team though, and like have always every year have a really good team.
How's the sternum?
They were.
How's your body?
Everything feels great. Like I'm
Look good.
I'm back.
Was it that hard of a hit? Like he felt like when Colasar
It wasn't. It wasn't the hardest hit I've ever taken. It just got me, in that perfect.
Yeah,
just,
you knew right away. Like
I knew right away. Like something in deep was. I thought like it was a collarbone or something. Or shoulder. I don't even know. It was just a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back and I had to. The reason why I had to leave the game was because they thought concussion spotters had to do that, which you got to do. So went and did that, and then during that, like it stiffened up a lot, and then I was late to the second period and came back. Doing it like to show like my appreciation to the fans in Florida and to show everybody like how much they care. Like I go out there for my first shift in, say I got hurt 10 minutes into the first. Probably go out there with 10 minutes left in the second, we'll call it. And I got a standing ovation as I'm going out there. So, like, they knew.
From Kodak Black?
Yeah.
With his things up there?
But, like, they showed me the love. Like, they're smart. They knew. Like, I didn't just, like, leave right the game. Like, I was on the bench. I played a shift, and then I kind of snuck off. But, like, they're, like, dialed in and, like, knew everything. And, I don't know. I just thought it was, like, a really cool like act from them to show that to me.
Yeah.
Like it's just another reason why I love playing.
That's
like,
when
awesome.
they're locked in.
Yeah, and like it just shows that like people don't have the right probably thoughts or they don't think the right things when it comes to like hockey in Florida or the Panthers fan. Like it's amazing place to play, and there's amazing people who love hockey down there.
So what was that? What game was that when you played where you're banged up? I was actually at the game in Florida.
So I heard it in game
4,
I was watching you, man. Like,
yeah, I heard it.
You were banged up pretty good.
I heard it in game 3, but it didn't really hit me at that. Like it was hurt me.
But game 4, you came back and played and scored, right?
So no, game 3 I left midway through the game, came back. No, we scored late and won it in overtime. Okay. And I knew after the game, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah,
like
dude.
I'm not feeling too good.
I had
like
the same thing.
I couldn't like could barely wash my body. Like just move my arm. I couldn't really do anything. I remember going home. I drove home that night with like a sling on. I was like, probably shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have.
But wake up the next day. I have the family at my house, and I can't get out of bed. Like there was I couldn't lift my like head up.
I heard about that.
So I don't know if I like somehow got my phone and like somebody helped me. I don't know whether it was, I don't know.
Brady.
It was, but then I needed Brady. Everybody was out of the house the next day, and I called Brady as I woke up from my nap because I knew he was the only one at my house, which was shocking. He wasn't at elbow room, but and he helped me out of my bed. Yeah,
singing
exactly.
Mr. Brightside.
But he helped me out of my bed, and yeah, it just got me to. I don't even remember if I showered but it was like I didn't tie my skates or do anything like that.
Who tied your skates?
Teddy, our head equipment manager.
Nice.
Beauty.
You do a good job on tying the skates.
He did unbelievable.
You gotta have him do it every game now.
No, I was not very good that
like
game.
even like picking pucks up that game, like they blow up off your stick. Like you couldn't do it.
I would say like sneaky. The hardest part was catching and receiving, and
I
actually passing. Like it like shocked you.
But remember at the end of the game where he put Petro on the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, Petro's got your stick behind Petro's head.
Yeah.
Like,
I like when he
dude,
does.
Well, there was a
how
scrum,
much
and
pain were you in that during the scrum though?
Well, I couldn't.
Was that
like,
all adrenaline
I
or what?
couldn't like grip anything, or it was just. I mean, it was tough. Like I don't want to talk too much about it, but it was tough. But like even like simple stuff, like I do the pucks and warm ups, right? Like I had to go up to, I think it was Lomberg. I was like, buddy, you gotta help me out here. Like you gotta do it. But I had the mindset going into that next game. I probably shouldn't have. I don't want to say I shouldn't have played, but I knew in my mind, like, I'm doing the team a disservice by, like, there's really nothing I can do. So the worst feeling in the world is like knowing individually your season's over. Like it sucks that you just can't help the boys who like we got this far, but everybody like totally was, understanding of what I did to come back and play a game and try and everything.
Well, they wouldn't be there without you.
And
either, so I think
but it was a really special group, and like everybody played through something. Like it was amazing. It's amazing to see after the playoffs, like each team that makes it that far. Like Vegas was lucky. Like they really didn't have to deal with too much like serious stuff. And you look at our team, and guys are playing through everything. So, but that's what the culture to kind of, it's kind of what was created throughout the season, I would say, is like the way guys battled and competed. Not to say that it wasn't there, before, but like we were a totally different team on game 100 and whatever than we were game 1. So that's something that we are already starting ahead of where we were last year, which is very exciting.
I think it was Montour who said like, hey, when you guys have the extra attacker goalies pulled, if you guys don't score and the buzzer sounds, like it's a melee, like everybody's in, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like
you got the extra guy up there.
I like when you do that though.
No, well, I mean, nobody wants to. This is something I think probably shouldn't say, but my dad always said, like, you don't lose a game, especially in playoffs, without a fight.
No shit.
Like,
get in there.
Get in there, and,
Even with, like, Mitchie Marnie and those guys, man, like, just, like, they're at the end of the game, like, get the fuck out of my face. I don't mind.
I just think, and talk about Monty, like, it's just guys hate to lose. Like, dude. I think and you're not, like, showing and being, like, a hero, being, like, we're doing this every game because we're a bunch of, crazy guys on the team, but like we genuinely hate to lose. So
it's good,
and that's a great, like, we didn't lose much in playoffs. But when we did, it was a melee, and everybody was getting the 10s thrown at them. They were throwing out 10s like crazy.
Oh my god!
Give me a 10, baby. Rack my belly minutes.
I was telling Cam, I was like, so you should have got more 10s. You would have had more penalty minutes.
I was nice to the refs.
That's fine.
Hey, you and Mitchie you guys did get into it at the end of the game there against Toronto. I had to feel good at beating Toronto though, like just because there's so much attention.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to play us.
Oh yeah, they did say that.
They did want to play us.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
then,
funny how that works.
Yeah. We just had so much swagger at that point. Like we just beat Boston. We have one day before we play game 1. So like, I wouldn't say we celebrated when we beat Boston, but like the best part of playoffs is like, you have your lounges in the hotel and you all go there. Yeah. You have a beer or two after, you beat them in game 7, then you wake up the next morning, you fly out to, Toronto, and then it's like, holy shit, we have to get like our last dinner before our meal, like right now. And then we're going over all like the pre-scout and all that stuff when playoffs works. Yeah. And, so yeah, we just went from like game 7 to a game 1 like that. Mm-hmm. So, when they were saying that they wanted us, we were like, keeping our
let's
go.
Hey,
can I take a piss real quick? Is that possible?
Well, let me ask this question. Let me ask this question real quick. So that when now you just fucked up the whole flow. You fucked up the whole flow.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Sorry, dudes.
I got to ask you about one thing though. The stick incident with Jonathan Quick. Like, what were you surprised people blew it up that much? Like, how do you even know where you're putting your stick in that situation? Like, you got to break that down for me.
I really just think like it was at the end of the game and trying to pry the puck, and then I don't know, maybe just getting a little pissed off. Like I really have nothing, like no excuse for it or nothing. And
you got a couple games for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I got 2 games for that this year. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Got to get one a year.
No, I don't. I don't need to get any.
No, don't
anymore.
stack them up.
No,
because you're gonna hit somebody weird.
No, I'm good. I'm good with. I'm good with not having to deal with that anymore.
Stick got in the mask or whatever.
No, I know.
But some of the goalies, it's I'm not a huge fan of the goalies that are outside the crease and bumping into you, and then when you bump, if they hit you, then they go crazy, and then the goal gets called off. I'm like, dude, like this, that stuff kind of irks me a little bit. So I don't know. It's okay.
Hey,
it's all good.
When you're playing against like Austin, you've known Austin forever.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you brought him to St. Louis one time.
Yep.
I was like trying to get him like you guys weren't even in the NHL yet. But I was like, during the game, I'm like, we should probably like interview these guys. Like they're going to be fucking in the NHL soon. But we ended up not doing it. And you and Mitch Marner being on the same line, they had like obviously a lot of success in junior. When you're playing against them, like, are you still buddies with them? Like, is that just something that's completely in the past?
No, definitely buddies with them. But like, I don't care who you're playing. They could be your best friend. Like, it's playoffs. Like you're gonna do anything
like
to beat them,
right?
Yeah, and I just went to McAvoy's wedding, and he's one of my good buddies. But he ran me a few times, great hits. I got into it with him after the whistle. Like it doesn't. That's anybody will tell. Like it's how it works. It's
fun to beat up your buddy.
It's what it takes. I mean, I'm not dropping the gloves. Probably.
Is there anybody that you would not hit? If you had them lined up
in playoffs or in like a
either or.
I'm not running into my brother too much for multiple reasons. One, he'd be able to kick my ass, but I would say
Robbie Thomas.
No, I'd probably run Robbie.
Okay.
Well, now if we play him, it'd just be in the final. So I'd definitely run him if we're playing him in the final. So he looked great, by the way. I've been skating with him.
I saw him recently.
Yeah, nobody. Another guy that like if there's games on and maybe Brady's not playing, there's other games like I'll watch St. Louis for him.
Yeah,
and he's obviously one of my best friends, and nobody sees the ice like him. Like it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's even in like these summer skates. Like he's got just
you see it. You've always known it, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm very happy to see him like continue to like evolve, and now he's the guy with the team. Like it's almost. I don't want to step on anybody's toes and say anything bad about anybody, which I'm not doing, but like it's the right thing for a guy like him, even though he's young, but like he's the guy now, and he's been deserving of it the last few years. But it's harder with some older guys that have been here for a while. But he's always had the talent, and I think now it's great because now he can show it. And
now people don't even know how good he is. Honestly.
No, he's so underrated, and
he had a tough year last year.
But I think like he's such a good player. He's always he's going to produce offense, and he's continuing to evolve. I love watching him. He looks great this year. I know he's going to have a big year.
Yeah, he'll have a big year.
He needs to. Yeah.
All right, all this talk about Olympics, World Cups, whatever. Like what? Where are you at with all this? Like, is it driving you crazy that like you haven't had that opportunity yet, like to be able to play with your brother, to be able to play with Austin, and obviously Patrick Kane. There's only so many opportunities to play with a guy like him, and Adam Fox, all these guys, man, Quinn Hughes, Jack Hughes, you guys would be absolutely stacked.
Yeah, there's so many great Americans in the league now, and it's a shame that we haven't had a chance to show off. I mean, it's going to be a rival of mine playing against Canada, but like it's crazy that, Austin and McKinnon and McDavid, like these guys haven't played in one. And like it's sad. And I know there's talks of doing a bunch of stuff here in the next future and, the Olympics in 2026. And, I'm obviously players aren't a part of any of those talks, but I think that every single player that could be in a position to play is like besides himself that there hasn't been one or that there isn't. That's a dream. My number one dream is to win the Stanley Cup. My number two dream is to win a gold medal with my brother for USA. And it's just there's no even playing in the US national team when I was 15, 16, whatever old I was, like wearing that jersey, there's something about it that just you can't replicate. My dad played in 4 Olympics. He said there's nothing like it. So I'm really hoping that I have a chance to play in a few, at least. That's a big goal of mine, and continue playing at hopefully a good enough level to be on that team. But But definitely in the next few years, we got to get some of these international
Let's
things
go
here. Like let's have some.
Yeah, man.
You think before your career's over, you and Brady will play on the same team? Like, is it that important that you guys do that?
We've talked about that a lot since we've both, gotten into the NHL, and I mean, who knows? The only opportunity might just be a Team USA thing one day. So that's why we want that to happen, and we hopefully can play a few times with each other. But in the NHL, I mean, you have to come to Florida. I'm not going up there. No offense, but I'm happy with where I am right now. So I don't know. He's got a few years left before he decides on doing anything. He loves it up there, though. He's kind of a god up there, which is pretty cool.
Big time. Are you into anything else besides hockey? Like, are you into like anything, like fishing to, world events to catastrophes to whatever?
I would say the biggest thing that I like to do right now, and this is going to kind of be like a vague answer, but being down in Florida, like anything outside that I can have, like at my house, whether it's, jet skis or being out in the water. I'm not a huge boat guy, and thank God, because those things would.
It's a waste of money. It's a waste of money.
Waste of money.
Andy
yeah.
doesn't know shit. Don't listen to him.
What do they? What do they
lose
say?
their value like right off.
What do they say?
No, they don't. They're expensive one way or the other. When you're on the water, you need a boat probably.
But I'm not. I definitely don't want to drive. What do they say? The best thing is to know somebody with a boat, not have one or something.
That's exactly right. I like being on a boat.
That's for cheap. That's for people that don't have money.
Let somebody else drive it.
That's for guys like Andy.
I'm not driving it.
Andy had a guy that's 18 years old that's handsome that,
in Tahoe,
out his wife.
Drove us around. 4th of July was the best day ever. Let him
your
drive
wife out the whole time.
No, I think that I love being able to hang around with my friends and family, whatever that is, or very, my family is. One thing I grew up on is being very generous to the people around you, so taking care of the people that got you and everything. But I just love having people like around me, whether it's friends and family. Like, I'm not gonna say my place is like a scene out of Entourage, but it gets pretty close sometimes during the year, and that's kind of what makes me happy right now is doing the things I love with those people. So
but they're good people that keep you in the right direction. They're not like, hey, we're doing this.
Yeah, I've being in Florida a lot. Like I used to. I know it's gonna sound ridiculous, but I used to not like the beach at all. Now I'm there. Like I think
really
during playoffs I was there every day.
How close are you to the beach? Are you on the beach?
I'm on the a canal area right off like the intercoastal.
So if you go to the beach, is that where you're just walking out the backyard or you have to drive?
No, so it's easier to get there by water, but I don't know, just take it. Like I'm not into like nice cars or anything like that. Like I'm the most like
that devalues you more than anything.
But I'm like the most like calm, like that stuff does not. Some guys.
So what's a
really
big purchase you've made? Like what do you want? Like what's something that you want to have?
I just like my two biggest hobbies right now are like golf and stuff on the water. So that's kind of what I.
But your dad's like that too. Like why is that? Where does that come from?
I don't know. I mean, you don't only have so much time, but so in the summer I really just like playing golf and hang around with friends and stuff. So when I'm in Florida, I do that.
He's on the water and he's playing golf. Like that's the two biggest things that you do. Yeah. You got
Yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of time outside. When I was in Calgary, trust me, this is going to sound bad, like I'm, shitting on it. Like I love my time there, but you're not really doing anything during the season outside.
We get that, dude. No.
So I'm taking advantage of every time I'm able to.
What about them gators down there? You ever see any?
I have once.
You got a doggy?
No, I did not.
All right, I'm just asking.
But like
gators like the dogs. Too,
yeah, goddamn right.
But the gators are, the gators are closer to the rink, not by where I live.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
How far from the
they're
rink?
There.
I think I'm like 20. It'll take me anything under 30 minutes, like 25.
It's not in the best location, the rink.
Out
in Sunrise,
but it's not.
Right?
It's not bad at all. Like we're having a brand new practice rink put in, so you only have to go out there like, 41 times plus playoffs.
When is that going to open up?
It's been a little delayed here. It was supposed to be start of last season, so now they're saying. I think last thing I heard was October, November. So hopefully,
this year.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. They're saying this year. So, but I don't. I know I'm one of the. I feel like the luckiest hockey player for being able to play in Canada, which I feel like everybody's got to do once because it is different. But now being in a place where I want to hopefully spend rest of my career in and build this team. But I mean, playing in Florida, like there's no better place to play. And I can't explain it more to people. Like you just gotta experience.
You guys tell you that all the time. How lucky you are to be able to play down there.
Yes, I get
from
that.
Other teams.
I get that a lot. Yeah,
yeah, you do.
Yeah,
they all know. Yep. Did you look at it like that though? Like when you were playing, When you weren't in Florida, were you like, God, man, it'd be nice to be down there?
Yeah, but it was almost just like so far-fetched of a dream that I was like, oh, this place is amazing.
How'd you work it out?
I worked it out.
Because you weren't like, okay, let me ask you this first off. Like, coming to St. Louis was never really going to happen, right?
Well, I'll give you the full thing as quick as I can. So when I kind of had to talk to Calgary and tell them that, I didn't tell them I don't want to play in Calgary. It was just like I'm not going to sign long-term. Like a long-term thing right now. And so they were like, okay, we kind of get that. And, it was just kind of worked out. We're going to have to go separate ways. So we worked on it together. So with their permission, I was able to basically for 1 week talk to, other teams and figure it out, obviously with their permission and everything. So I don't want to say specific teams, but I talked to a bunch of them I talked to a handful of them and there were a bunch calling. But so basically just had to be honest, be like, no, maybe, yes.
No, Arizona?
No.
Only if you had a 6,000 seat arena, I'd play there.
No, so it really came down to, I think it's pretty known to everybody that it was like the three final teams were Florida and Carolina and St. Louis. So basically just try to do my homework on all of them, and I feel very lucky because I was like, I basically was a UFA. Like it's kind of what it felt like, when you're.
Were they rolling out the red carpet? Were they like recruiting you? Were players calling you and stuff?
Yeah. I had texts and calls from a lot of people I won't be specific with, but it was a very interesting time, and basically like for myself, I just wanted to, I wanted to learn the most I could before this very important decision, So, but every single day, everything started to point towards Florida, and like that's where my heart was the whole entire time.
But that was always your number one.
Yes, the whole time, and it just continued.
You got people excited here in St. Louis.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
I don't know. Well,
it's all good, man.
Yeah, it's obviously I love.
You made the right choice.
I know back here in the summer, but there's living and playing in Florida. I'm very happy with my decision, and I've loved every second.
So now what's on the agenda? Now you gotta. What are you doing the next couple days?
I'm going back. I'm back to Florida. I'm excited to go back on Friday in a few days.
Drive back there by yourself?
I'm not gonna drive back.
You're gonna ship it
car, and then
I keep thinking he's driving it back and forth.
I'm not driving that. I don't know. Go back there and just continue making progress. And
you flying private anywhere?
We just did to
UVA.
To UVA, yeah.
How'd she do, by the way?
My sister Taryn did great. Yeah,
it was like the season opener, right?
Yeah, and she was hurt. She was hurt like the whole season last season, and then played like lights out, her best in her.
Like, do you understand what's going on?
Oh yeah,
you understand.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah.
Your blood.
It's like impressive what they can do.
My daughter plays, dude.
It's impressive.
My middle daughter, like she's just kind of getting going.
Yeah.
But,
I hated all the whistles when I first started watching. Like there's whistles every 2 seconds, but it's like not stop and play. It's just like change of possession or something. So I didn't get it at the start, but now I love watching.
Change of possession, they blow the whistle.
Well, it's like if it hits your foot or if you like stick check them.
Everybody right-handed?
Yeah.
And you can't use your backhand.
No. And my sister's a lefty in like hockey and like baseball, and
she's still kicking ass.
Oh yeah, she had to learn this all within like a few months.
Is she still like a dominating player, even at that level? Like
yes.
And do you notice like a higher like where she's playing now? Like it's like wow, these girls are unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah. Like there's no like she's really good, but there's a lot of really good players.
Yeah.
And like when she was in high school, like it was she could have had 5 goals a game.
Or as a righty.
Yeah.
Why is she a righty and you guys are lefties? That's so weird, eh?
Well, because she has to be.
Well, I'm saying, but she's a lefty.
No, she's a left. If she was playing ice hockey, she's a lefty.
Okay. So she got it.
Yeah, so like to switch over to righty is like awkward. Or at least, so she's crushing it. Everybody in the family is doing well.
How was Brady's wedding?
Brady's wedding was a blast.
Really?
Oh my God, blast.
Where's that at?
I had a lot of weddings though, but that one was.
How many weddings did you go to?
Well, the ones that I could go to.
How many were you invited to first?
Well, I was going to. I mean, I think I got invited to 6, but one overlapped with, something that I had, and then one was over like the same day. So
You don't have to make all of
it
them.
it was like impossible to make them all. So I made the most I could, which was 4. Which was a lot of fun.
Tell us about Kevin Hayes though coming to St. Louis.
Oh, you guys, everyone here is gonna love him.
Cool cat.
Oh, the best.
That's what I heard.
The best, like the best. Like this is gonna. I hope this doesn't like talk him down as a player, but like the best room guy, but like all-star. You know, the best like all-star on the ice, all-star off. Like he is loved by everybody. He's super excited he was one of the weddings I went to. He's super excited to come here.
Who was the band playing at his wedding? What was going on? Who was
No,
singing?
they had oh my gosh. They had the band and then they also had Sammy Adams.
Okay.
Or he had Sammy Adams perform like a few songs.
Like
And
Sam
they're
Adams, like the famous Sam Adams?
Like the singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Where was that, in Cape Cod?
In Cape Cod, yeah.
I had dinner like...
it was an awesome
don't even
wedding.
bring up Cape Cod.
I went to Cape Cod.
Good Lord.
I took my whole family to Cape Cod this summer.
he thinks
Cam got
it's-
so mad at me because I went there.
No, Andy went on 5 vacations in a row, and it directly affected my schedule. He goes to Cape Cod, and he brags about it for 5 fucking days.
So who have you guys had on here this summer? Who have been some of the best guests?
Oh,
we've
Brody,
had some shit
remind
kickers,
us,
man.
remind us who
We
get the list out. We've had some good ones, man. We've had actually a pretty good run here recently.
Yeah.
Give
Now
us-
he's got to take the phone. See, like, now it's all
It's
fucked up.
probably well, you had Monty. Monty's great, hell of a player too.
Monty was great.
He's thing I love about him. He's just a dog out there.
Who?
Oh, JT Miller.
Oh, JT Miller.
Yeah,
We had
he
him
brought
on.
the heat.
So you've had some.
He did.
He brought the- he don't give a fuck.
He'll be on your USA team.
Oh, JT Miller's cool as shit.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's cool.
John Gibson.
John Gibson.
Yeah, Johnny Gibbs is cool.
Who?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Van Riemsdyk.
Yep. Ronnie Francis.
Oh, that would be a cool one.
Francis.
Yeah,
Oh, he
that
was
was good,
great,
man.
He was great.
He's probably
Who
got
else-
some cool stories, especially with.
Who else we got? Brooks Orpik, Sam Gagne. Yeah, we
Nicky
had
Boy's a
Nick
cool
Foligno,
cat.
He was cool.
Cool cat.
Yeah,
His brother's tough as shit too,
Who?
man. Big Marcus.
Bruce Cassidy.
Yeah, Bruce
there's
Cassidy.
there's some good stories there.
Yeah,
He was
man.
in the Cape too when I was there.
No one gives
Listen,
a fuck.
I'm making my way all around the Cape. I didn't make it down to Sandwich where you guys were. I wanted to get down to
yeah,
Sandwich.
we didn't make
Couldn't
it.
afford it.
Yeah, I was supposed to.
We were in
Before
Chatham. Chatham's nice up
I
there.
went
isn't
to
it?
I went
Isn't
to
it? Please.
I went to
tell
the
'em.
Cape.
Tell 'em
it
it's
is
nice.
good. It is really good. But I went to the Cape. I'm actually wearing my Trader Ed shirt right now. I was able to only make it there once this year in the Cape. My brother's bachelor party got in the way of that. So
Where was his bachelor party?
we had it in Miami.
Yeah, boy. What's up?
No, the place where Kevin Hayes had his like rehearsal dinner or like the dinner before I ate there. I'm trying to forget the in Harwich.
Yeah, Harwich. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The
I-
guy who owns it is a scout with the Wild.
All right. I don't.
Yeah, like the head amateur scout.
It's riveting.
Yeah.
with the
Everything
Wild.
he says about his trip is fucking riveting.
With the Nantucket.
That's like useless information.
It's
there.
so
I didn't need
stupid.
to
I
know
mean,
that.
Hey, when you hit Jack Eichel though,
Oh yeah.
like, I got like you fucking like you saw it. It's one of those hits that you just kind of like see. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Right. And then he toe picks.
Yeah.
Although I don't think he did toe pick. I think he saw you at the last second, and his
And
body
lost his balance.
and his body reacted like I need to fall before I get fucked up.
Yeah.
And it did fuck him up.
I haven't watched. You talk about like I heard it was all over the place. I
didn't see it?
I haven't seen the video of it, and I really haven't.
I don't believe that.
I really haven't cared
Hey,
too much
what's your
about that.
favorite goal you scored in the playoffs?
Probably
The clinching goal against Carolina, where you
either that or the
slid on the ice,
Either
like my 7-year-old son.
yeah.
Just like that.
I would say. Oh no, this is gonna sound like classic, but I would say either that one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say all three of the series clinchers. Like Verhaeghe's against Boston, like I was
Badass.
so happy.
Yeah, dude.
Like I was so happy because like of everything we went through to
Yeah.
get to that point,
Yeah.
whatever. When Cousins scored, I was so happy just because of how much I don't like Toronto and just love to win in Toronto.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know, like the Carolina one, like that was so cool, but I just knew like something like that was kind of gonna happen. Like I thought we were going to OT.
Toronto one, though.
The Toronto one was.
We
was
want
awesome.
Florida.
That was, and I was so happy for Nick Cousins too, who's like from Ontario and from
Good
the
guy.
area. Oh,
Who's the
best.
crew you hang out? Like, you guys have a crew of guys you guys are all hanging out with all the time. Like, who's over at the house all the time?
We had this crew of like 8 to 10 guys that are all
because
like,
apparently Barkey doesn't have
tight.
anybody over at his house.
Tight.
That's what Monty says. He says Barkov doesn't. He's like, maybe it'd be nice if he had everyone over to his house.
Well,
so-
Barkey's the only one that's in Boca.
Yeah, he's not close,
Like
yeah.
when he came to the league, that's when everybody was living in Boca. So,
Got it.
but he's like the perfect guy to live in Boca. Like he's just so calm and just so chill and probably just like I don't know, just like chills.
Does he
all
ever
day.
get like?
I saw him celebrate once on a goal, and it was like I think it was game 1 Carolina, but like he is the best player that I've ever seen.
It's a good compliment
Like,
for you.
I mean, like I've obviously McDavid, like I haven't seen him a ton. I saw him when I was working out in Toronto a little bit with him, but like day to day, like I've never played with somebody like Barkey.
Really?
Never.
You know, Pronger used to tell me he's top 5 player in the league when he was working with Florida.
Yeah, and that was years ago when he was like not what he is now.
Like, exactly. Because like he was always underrated. I don't know if he's really as underrated now versus maybe still underappreciated.
It's
people know he's great. They just don't.
He's making a lot of money.
He's just not loud. He's so quiet. He just plays quiet.
They almost know he's great, but like just forget about him. Kind of like they're just like, yeah, he's a stud, but no, he's a stud. That's it.
Kind of nice being
It's
a
like
stud
he
and no
should
dog
be
food.
like the guy. Like he's that good. He's that good. There's not many. Obviously, you have McDavid, who's a stud. McKinnon is really good. McCarr, those guys. Austin, those guys are. But Barkey's right up there with those guys. Like
Yeah, you are too, though.
Oh no, I'm not on
We put
Barkey's
you
level.
up there,
No,
dude.
I ain't on
We
Barkey's
do
level.
almost too
Get outta
much.
here.
Like it's
We do
like,
pump you and Brady. Like
we
we
just
do
can't
it.
help it.
I
I know.
appreciate
We gotta calm the fuck down.
I know.
I need to chirp you a little
just
bit.
like,
No,
all
but
right.
I love doing like especially with practice stuff, just like ISO Cam and Barkey, and like trying to do some of the stuff that he does with the puck and his skating, and it's just he's a full package. So I enjoy watching him and try to pick up on anything that I can learn from him.
Hey, when's the first time you scored a goal between your legs? Like what level of hockey was that at?
Probably. I remember I was really young because my dad was like,
Mad
he
that you did that.
wasn't pissed, but he was like, "Why would you do that? Like, why you could have probably just like scored." It was probably like
You move your body a different way or something.
but he was like, "You could have just scored. Like, why would you do that?" And I remember Jordan, who was coaching, and like some of like the kids in the team are like, "Oh, you just did that. Like, that's pretty cool." And then like, I just had this confidence to like do that, and like, I was like flipping the puck up and hitting it out of midair, like stupid shit. That like, why would I be doing that? But I don't know. I thought that was fun. Guys like Patrick Kane and Crosby were doing this stuff when I was watching when I was younger. Like those.
You don't
were the
need to
guys
move
I
your
wanted to be
body
like.
to put your stick in a different position. That's why
No,
you
Yeah,
need
but
to do
you
that.
get more on the puck than most people. Like I'm still trying that move right now. Okay,
You could probably stop.
Don't play with Andy in any scrimmage.
Oh, he's on my
You'll drive
line.
you fucking nuts.
Me, you,
This
and
is, guys, me, him, and Stillman.
yeah,
gotta wear
me, you, and
shoulder
Tom were
pads.
aligned.
We
Yeah,
are.
I kept the puck. I think I was playing center, which I hate. I'm not a centerman. I kept it on Tom Stillman's side, not Andy's.
What great
Hey,
wingers.
Every
you
time
have.
they come back and skate in the sun, I'm always.
But
on
what
Matthews'
was that?
side.
Was a great. That was the opening of Centene,
It
right?
was.
That was a
It
great
was.
event.
It
Yeah, it
was.
was like what some of the. I remember I just took my dad's spot. It was like what was it? Some of the alumni and.
It was. We
Your
played.
dad's like, you take my spot.
No, I remember I was holding out and he had to like do something. He was double booked or whatever. Maybe he was doing.
Jesus,
I don't
Andy.
know.
That's not my phone.
That's yours.
But he, yeah.
Hey, but
good
you
time.
went the goal like that you did between your legs against Nashville at the buzzer. Like that was from far out. Like nobody will ever do
Yeah.
that again.
That was crazy.
No,
Like,
I
nobody
just-
will ever score that goal again. It was a one-timer too,
Yeah.
and in between the legs from like
The hash marks.
the hat higher than the
yeah.
hat, like
Yeah,
top
maybe
of the
top circle, yeah.
circles.
I
And
will to make anybody feel better. Like I'll practice it like in tight, and
You will.
basically everybody can do that.
How
move
often you
now.
practice that?
Well, I don't know. Just screwing around.
Yeah,
or,
at
like
the end of
now,
practice,
now
do
it's like to the point where I don't even practice it. Like just use it when I feel like I need
Right.
to use
Yeah.
it, just because I've done it so
It's
much.
like a
there.
shot.
It's there.
a
Yeah,
shot.
but the one against Nashville, like there was no practice. There was no. It was like that awkward where it came right in the middle, and I just like 1 second left to try to get as much.
Is
as I
that the
could on
easiest
it.
thing to do in that position? That's
And that,
the
well,
point.
in that
Yeah,
position, it was
exactly.
the only way I could get a shot
Yeah.
off without the buzzer going.
Nobody's ever scored a goal like that before.
That was a unique one. That was one of my favorites.
Hey,
That
what?
was-
Okay,
was
what
fun.
about?
We broke it down in the phone room. Remember, you came in. We
Yeah,
broke down
I
the
did.
video.
Yes.
Hey, what about all throughout your career? Like, is there a time where your dad called you and said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And you had to go back and forth with Big Walt and put your foot down because, like,
It still
that
happens.
happens.
Yeah,
right.
I think I think now I'm at the age now where he's not, he trusts me and he still wants to help though. Is kind of what I'm saying. And I don't know, he's still like a parent though. He's still like, Matthew, fucking move your feet in this stuff. And like, we'll talk pretty much after most games just casually, and he'll be like, good game, but like, that one in the second where you had it there, like, make that play or something. I'm like, I hear you. There's only a few times if I'm pissed off, I'll be like, Dad, I'm not dealing with you right now. Like, shut up. But
will you be honest with Brady, like after a game, or do you kind of like just pump his tires? Like?
I probably could. I pump his tires, and he knows I do. I could probably pump it up a little bit more because, like, I'm hard on him too because I want him to do well, and I look at things different than when he looks at. I'm sure he sees shit like stuff I do, and he's like, "What are you doing there?" But we have like the best relationship where we can have that mix of honest and pumping each other.
What's the next step for him? Like he's gotten to 30 goals. Like he's got, obviously team wise, there's goals. He's gonna want to.
I really think like I could say. His shot and everything. I don't want to put any individual pressure on him at all, but like he could score however many goals the top goal scorer. He's a top goal scorer. I just think the thing with him, and he's been preaching it all summer, which I've loved seeing, is just playoffs and what he's going to do to get his team into playoffs. And they have all the talent there, so it's
whatever it is.
We've had DJ on, and we even had their GM on this summer too. Actually, we had a bunch of people.
We have everybody on.
We love Ottawa.
Yeah, we do.
We love everybody. One of our favorite
teams.
Even
but when I've been there because of Brady, they treat me well. We our family laughs about it. It was right before my dad gave it to our team about playing soft or whatever. But we're
soft.
But they love Brady there, and like I love the fact that they love Brady. Like I think it's cool. Like as a brother, take hockey aside, like it's really cool to see a whole, not just like the whole city. He's a god there. No, it's how Austin is in Toronto or Connor is in Edmonton. Like these guys are gods in their cities. So. They're chanting Brady's better, and like it's like the high school hockey chant. I love it. I think it's great. But I'm happy for Brady. He loves it there, and he's one hell of a player.
Well, man, we're proud of you guys, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. The whole family, dude.
Yep, everybody.
Including your mother too, by the way. Who dealt with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, she's still grinding.
I'm glad you still come back to St. Louis, man.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'll always come back here on the summer.
Is your mom? Like, how's your dad comes down to visit? Is your mom in the mix too? Like, she's cruising everywhere?
Always.
Yeah. I've been
always in the mix doing shit?
So for the first part of the season, normally they majority goes to Taryn because she's the fall sport, like the fall season. So up until Thanksgiving, and then she's done. And then after, they'll bounce around from Brady. Okay.
Does Taryn bring her friends out to your games too?
When we're there in Washington, she always comes in with a few friends for the game. Yeah. Cool. Or the last few times, I think.
Enjoy everything.
Oh, it's great.
Just enjoy everything.
Like I look at it like, these are the times where you just, my dad always said, and it kind of bothers me when people say it goes by like that, but like it does. And
but you're still young, man.
And I just want to enjoy it.
A long way.
Hey, I got to ask you this though.
By quick.
Hanging out with Barkley and Shaq and those guys, that had to be one of the cooler things you've done, right?
It was. That was
I want to know what you guys talked about off camera.
Yeah. I don't know everything. Like
and Koepka.
Yeah, we talked about. Yeah, I've got to know all those guys. It's been.
Tell Koepka to stop chirping Ekblad. Come on,
or he's not rolling Molly. By the way, his eyes were fucked up.
He's not going to be able to hang out with the boys. You keep doing that.
He was fucking partying.
Come on, Koepka.
But it was cool. Like a lot of those golfers were at the games. They all live in the area, so getting to meet a bunch of them. And then
you golf with those guys.
I haven't golfed with them. All and many of them yet, but I'm sure I will this year.
Yeah,
but
of course you will.
But like the whole Barkley and Shaq thing, like it kind of happened last minute, so didn't really have. Like I was just thinking it's cool that like I wasn't even thinking like the whole NBA panel. Like I like watching basketball, but like I don't think I realized how big it was, and like those guys are worldwide famous.
Fuck
they are, man.
So
gigantic.
It's
doesn't it like you look at that, you're like, man, hockey. We have so much. We've come so far. We have such a far way to go.
Oh, you can't even.
Damn right you do.
They're a lot of steps ahead of.
What can we do to get hockey?
I don't know. I mean, it's just some of those sports. It's just hitting parts of the world that hockey just hasn't hit
Promote
yet.
Better.
Yeah, I mean, it's just got to be more. I don't know. Times are changing, and
it's hard to be funny now. You're worried about what you say.
Yeah,
it's hard
for
to promote.
sure. Yeah, it's hard, but you guys do a great job, and a lot of people do a great job. But it was pretty cool. Like nobody knows. Like I was talking with Reggie Miller too. Like I've seen like those documentaries. I'm like, dang, Reggie Miller. Like this is like I'm still a fan. Like
Reggie, can we get a picture?
Fucking Reggie, what's up?
It's really cool to me too. Like Charles knows who I am.
Yeah.
I don't look at myself as anything more than a guy who's just going out there and playing hockey. And Charles is talking about me, and like
King
my dad,
Sir Charles.
Yeah, and it's just like he knows his shit.
Yeah, he
too.
watches
like,
hockey. Yeah,
but he's so smart and like remembers everything and remembers names, and like, I'm like, that's very impressive. Very impressive for guys to be able to do that.
Down to earth, cool.
Yeah, and just like how much he cared about like the people in Florida and like hockey down there.
Shaq was funny though in the interview.
Shaq lives in Florida. We were talking about just like he doesn't live too far from
your
me.
next
Go hang out with that motherfucker.
He doesn't know his hockey as much as Charles. So maybe I could.
No, he has nothing to do with hockey.
He
knows nothing.
But he's funny, man. I mean, he's not funny on television. His Instagram's
he's goddamn hilarious on television.
Yeah, I like those guys too because they're so like they're just so honest and like it's just like raw and it's
real,
just
dude.
it's great and they say it how it is and like all right, put it this way, I like watching them more than I like watching the actual basketball game. They're so fun.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I watch TNT and I don't watch.
No,
basketball.
you don't.
No, I watch their clips.
The clips.
I think
they got them drawers on in San Antonio. Them bloomers.
I think that the NHL TNT does a great job.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
They're doing a good job.
So
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's
His done a great job.
Hey, other people got to step up a little bit more. TNT's got it. No big deal. I'm honest.
TNT does a good job. So
Matty, you're the man, dude.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Keep it going. Have a great year.
We love you, dude.
Yeah.
We love the family, man. Right on. And you look good. Take your shirt off one more time.
Don't ever change.
Don't ever change.
Yeah.
And next time,
or your daddy will get pissed at you. He never did.
Have fun driving your car back to Florida.
Yeah.
He's getting it towed. Matty, you're the man. Love you, buddy.
See you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
That was Matty Tkachuk.
Great dude. He's a good dude, man. The whole family.
Dude, he's been so busy.
Drop of a hat comes in.
Just comes in.
I know.
And just
for
chills.
an hour and a half.
Right?
Totally cool.
Mm-hmm.
I root for him.
Where do you put him right now among players in the NHL?
Oh, fuck. He's top 5.
Top 5, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
I mean, like, how many guys would you have over him? I mean, there's probably a handful, and that's about it.
What makes him so good?
Competitiveness. And I try to get it out of him. Like, every time he goes to the net, the puck finds him. Like, how? How do you do that? What are you doing? What's in your mind whenever you're going into a play and it kicks up to the point? Like, where do you go? And sometimes when it comes that natural, it's hard to really break it down. Like, he just, some sort of instinct. Of course, it's in his blood. His daddy did the same thing. His brother does the same thing. Hell, his sister does the same thing.
Yeah.
They know how to find the puck in important situations, and they're able to fucking connect.
But let me ask you this. There's a lot of great players in NHL history. I mean, Wayne Gretzky had kids that played hockey. Mario Lemieux probably had kids that played hockey.
I know.
Why is it this situation? Everyone's like, well, it's because his dad did it. Well, there's a lot of great players in NHL history.
Chantel has good genes, too.
Yeah.
They just connected. Their genes connected.
So,
and it worked.
So
sometimes, like, fuck, you could have a superstar like Greta. Maybe his kids just, their genetics hit somewhere else. Maybe it wasn't the skill part or the hockey part. Maybe it was something upstairs.
And one of them played, like, high-level baseball and stuff.
But you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's something else they got. Like, it's just all genetics, dude.
Yeah.
Because these guys work, man.
Like
it's not like they're just really good.
Had sons. Yeah. Chris Chelios had sons.
There's
you know
a
what I
ton.
mean?
Andy. Fucking little Ovi might not play. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you see this kid doing it just doesn't matter. Or maybe a fourth line guy on Buffalo, his kid. You already know the guy. His kid's going to be the superstar.
You know what's even more amazing, though, is when a kid whose parents know nothing about hockey and the kid ends up being incredible.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
Is it Connor Bedard? Is that the situation?
No, he's Canadian. His dad probably, like,
Well, I'm just asking.
knew the game and played the game.
Okay, who's the kid that you're talking about?
I mean, I see it like on the youth hockey circuit.
Yeah,
Some kids are unbelievable, and I'm like, and their dad like will tell me like I knew nothing about hockey.
Yeah, because sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's good when your dad's not fucking telling you every which way.
There's a kid here in town who's like a sick little player, man. He's a young kid still, but I think he's from Brazil, dude.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like how long did he stay there?
I don't know. I mean, his dad
when he's
probably,
2
I think
years
his
old.
dad grew up there probably.
Well, when he left when he's 2, it's like okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, didn't grow up probably.
Yeah, okay.
A whole lot of experience around the game of hockey.
Oh, they're watching hockey down there. What are you talking about?
Are they?
Fuck no. Yeah, but
they're pretty big down in Brazil.
Yeah, but like anywhere okay, fine. You grew up in Brazil. You left when you're 2, and then you go to a market where the Blues are shoved in your face everywhere you fucking go. Mm-hmm. Cardinals are shoved in your face everywhere you go. So it's like, oh, okay, now I'm into this.
Yeah, because you know what? It's funny because you see the youth hockey numbers.
Yeah.
And how they exploded after the Blues won the Cup. And they're still really high, but we're starting to see those numbers kind of come back down a little bit, you know?
No doubt. You got that big bump, didn't you?
And I will say this, man, and I'll be talking about this for the next several years because now that I'm going through it, I mean, hockey is too fucking expensive.
It's expensive as shit.
Like, it's a fucking joke how expensive it is.
There's a lot of things.
My kid's 7 years old. I got to buy him a hockey stick that costs over $200. Is a fucking joke.
There's a lot of different things that go into hockey. Mm-hmm. Rinks, equipment, fucking ice, air conditioning. I mean, sticks. I mean, there's so much going on. Your blades of your skates, tape. Like, fuck. Just never-ending cycle. Helmets. Like, shit. Your gloves wear out. Now you got to get that patch. Yeah. There's always skate sharpening. Thank you, Sparks, for keeping it simple and easy for us. Right. But there's a lot that goes on with hockey. Mm-hmm. Go outside and play hockey. Well, now you need rollerblades. Well, what else you need? You need asphalt. Yeah. You need this, you need that, you need it. You know, like.
Let me take it a step further. Now, if you want to be competitive, now you got to have the skating coach. Now you got to have the skills coach.
Now you're working out at a young age.
Now you're working out. You got your strength coach. So strength coach, skills coach, skating coach, hockey team. A lot of times you're playing on 2 teams. Mm-hmm. You really don't start playing on one team until you're like 10 years old.
Yeah.
So you're playing on 2 teams for like the high level player up until you get to 10 years old, which, you know, they're both expensive, just as expensive. You're traveling at a young age.
Yeah.
I mean, these trips, I see kids, man, that are like traveling out to the East Coast, whatever, and their kids aren't even playing at a high level. So it's a great experience and all that, but like you're spending that, you know, that's a $5,000 trip.
What if you're into it, you know, and the kid's been pretty good, and all of a sudden your buddies got a little bit extra money and they're doing what Phil McRae does? What's it?
The TPH.
TPH. Mm-hmm. It's fucking expensive, but fuck, it works. And you're like, damn, I gotta have my kid do that, or Well, what about these skating lessons in New York?
And there's a balance with that. Because,
no doubt.
Because, you know, the social aspect of it and all that, you know.
Yeah, well, don't do it because your buddy, you know, you as a parent's friends are on and you want to hang out with them. No, do it for your fucking kid.
Yeah.
Everything's about your kid. What's the best for your kid? Right. Does it make sense to spend that kind of money? Or you just want to do it because Joey's on that fucking team? Who cares about that shit? What's the best for your kid with the budget you have? And if he's good enough, you could find ways. You don't have to go to that guy. Do something in your basement. How about you look up stuff and figure out what to do in your basement?
How can we make hockey less expensive? Or is that never going to happen?
Well, what are these big companies? Why don't they start sponsoring? Like, they spend all this money on all kinds of different shit. Like, maybe if you really like youth hockey and you like hockey in this city, like, maybe throw some more money down and start sponsoring some of these youth teams.
Right.
I don't know. Is that too much to ask for? Like,
the price of hockey completely shuts out a large percentage of kids from ever truly playing
What's
the game.
Cheap?
What
is cheap?
Okay, so you know how we talked about
in life
recently
right now,
how soccer is the most popular sport in the world?
It's expensive too.
Because all you need is a ball.
It's expensive too.
My daughter plays high level competitive soccer. It is so fucking expensive.
I know.
Also. She's going to and you know the league, like, just for the fees are expensive. I mean, yeah, the uniform and the ball and everything, it's not as expensive as hockey. You know, you got the cleats, you know, shin guards. It's all you. Yeah. It's not as expensive.
It's not that bad.
But, dude, she's going to Detroit next weekend to play one game.
That's ludicrous.
One game. Because of the league that they're in. There's one game. So I'm $1,000 in before she even gets there, between the hotel and the cost of the plane tickets for her and my wife to go.
It's ridiculous. Andy, that's ridiculous. Yeah. And so, like, what do you do? I mean, everything in life right now
for one game
is expensive. Everything is.
And everyone's like, well, we should schedule another game after. I'm like, fuck, I don't even want to pay for another night at the hotel.
No.
Like, I'm not spending enough.
I know.
Just come home.
I know. So it's like, I want them. How about they play 2-1?
Yeah, right.
2 games.
In
Like,
one
give me
day.
2 games. Like, they're okay. Shit, we used to play like 3 games.
Oh, I know.
At that age. Fuck that. Let them play 2 at
Yeah.
least.
No, Ty had
That
2
sucks.
games yesterday.
That's fine.
Hockey, they'll play 2 games today.
It's good. And it's much
Thank
better.
you for coming in today, by the way.
You're welcome. Thank you for scheduling it.
No, you scheduled today.
Well, we always have to go through your schedule first because I don't have kids, thank God, for both of our sake and the podcast. All y'all out there,
Cam's
thank
like-
God my sperm doesn't
Cam was
work.
like, if I had kids,
We wouldn't be doing this. We'd be fucked.
you'd be available on Monday mornings.
I don't know. What if my little guy had something?
So be it.
Or my little
I'd
girl?
probably go watch him play, which
you wouldn't.
you've never done.
You would never even consider watching my kid play unless it was like
It'd be
right
there.
in your face, and you still wouldn't. You'd be on the phone the whole time. You're kidding. You know?
How are you going to celebrate Labor Day?
I told you I'm doing a fish or a seafood
fish
boil,
boil.
baby.
You know, I made one of those last year. Remember I sent it to you?
Yeah, it looked fucking good.
Yeah.
The one thing you send me, I'm like,
Yeah.
that looked
You got to
goddamn
get
good.
those little, like, round potatoes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get little guys. I think you put that in first, and I got everything down.
Make sure those are nice and soft. Before
I'm gonna
you
make my
finish it.
nice butter sauce with 4 sticks of butter. I'm gonna grind up garlic. I'm gonna grind up onion. I'm gonna throw that bad boy in there. Not gonna take much.
Will you
of
videotape it?
I'll do some video.
No, will you videotape your...
I know I need to post some things. Like I don't post that much anymore.
People
Maybe I
used to
should
want
do.
us to do barbecue videos, and of course I am still a Traeger ambassador, but the reality is the heat in St. Louis has led to me not grilling a whole lot this summer.
Fuck no.
So my grilling season really starts in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, mine too. It's actually been somewhat mild all summer. My grass looks green as shit. It's been pretty nice here in St. Louis, except for a week stretch where it was really bad. Hell on earth, basically. So, no, you're right, man. You can't, it's not worth going out there when it's that hot. I like when it's chilly. Even when it's cold out, I like to go out there, be around the
Yes.
fire, baby, do my thing.
Chili actually sounds good.
I
right
know. Oh, that's in December.
I'll make you some.
So, I'm doing this.
Can I make you some and bring it to you?
That's fine. What kind of meat's going to be in it? No meat, eh?
I typically
You
do
put salmon in there?
I typically do a 3-bean.
Yeah, that's enough beans for me, dude. I need some meat in that motherfucker. But like,
I'll put some meat in yours.
so I'm gonna do seafood boil, and then next, when it gets a little bit more chilly,
Uh-huh.
I got this big pot. I'm gonna make homemade chicken noodle soup from scratch with a big old bird in that motherfucker.
Okay.
Fatty onions, all this veggies, and then I'm gonna take all that out, and that's my broth. Then I'm gonna cut up more veggies.
Give
put
it
in
to
there.
the
Then I'm gonna
dogs
shred up the meat, and I'm gonna put that and let that simmer. Homemade chicken noodle soup. I'll hook your kids up.
Okay.
If they're sick,
Yeah.
that will cure them.
Bring it over.
I swear to God.
How are your dogs doing? You haven't talked about those.
My
dogs
babies are
very
great,
often.
man.
The orange dogs.
They
you
wake us
haven't
up
talked about
every
us.
morning because we don't put them in their crate at night unless I really need to sleep because they find a way on the bed, and it's very disruptive. But once they snuggle in, I can maneuver.
Do they
around.
sleep at the end of the bed, or are they up
Oh,
on
they
the pillow?
they want to be right by us
In the mix?
Oh God, and you got to kick them out once you want to get down with it.
Is that what you do?
I can't have them in the room. I can't have Boo Boo staring at me.
Are they crying outside the door, though?
Yes, and I gotta shut them up. Like I need it sometimes. Get away, get away from me. And so, but they're great, man.
Okay.
We're chilling. The leaves are changing.
Say thank you to Matthew Tkachuk for
Thanks,
coming
Matty.
out here.
You're the man.
We got
dude.
some good ones coming up, too. We got some other ones coming up in studio, too.
Yeah,
This is typically like our month when we get people in studio.
yeah.
Guys
it
start
is.
coming back into town.
Yeah,
Obviously during the summertime, too. But it's always nice to have somebody in front of you when you're doing the interview.
yeah, no doubt.
You
I
know?
like it, man. It's a lot easier.
Cam Strick Podcast, always fueled by First Form, Cam.
Of course.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Get
How
healthy.
important is it to use our link?
Oh, it's huge,
Like,
guys.
explain that to them.
Well, you want to keep this thing going? That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's easy just to get in there and do your thing, but like when you go through our link, it just helps.
Yeah.
Helps keep this train moving.
Always use our link. And you know
Please.
what, man? More and more of our listeners are getting on the First Form train.
Yes. Yeah, they are.
We appreciate that. Get that Formula One Formula One protein, man. Start with that. Get the collagen. You can get the level 1 protein, like all of that, man. All this stuff. That's where you start. And of course, you can get the bars and obviously get some of that, apparel and workout clothes and all
fuck.
that. Get everything. But if you're new and you want to okay, where do I start? Well, that's where you want to start, man. Get that Formula One protein, man. It's incredible.
And they'll go step by step with you on their app, too.
Oh, get
and
the
they'll tell
app.
you what the fuck to do.
Get the app.
Because sometimes it's difficult to understand. It is.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Get the app.
So don't think that you're like, I don't know what's going on. No, they'll tell you
What's
exactly.
the link? What's the link?
Cam Strick.
Yeah, firstform.com/Cam Strick.
Yeah. /Cam Strick.
Yeah.
Always / Cam Strick.
Firstform.com/Cam Strick.
What, Brody?
Illinois Recovery Center, baby. It's the new premier inpatient substance abuse facility in Swansea, Illinois, just outside of St. Louis.
right
But I don't
outside.
care where you're at. You could be in Germany right now. They got a bed waiting for you.
Damn right they do.
Illinois Recovery Center. The mission is to be the receiving hand when someone is seeking help. When it comes to the disease of addiction, man, getting help shouldn't be as difficult as it currently is because it is hard to get help for some people.
Fuck yeah, it is, man. You don't know what to do.
Yeah,
I told you guys, when I was fucking hardcore on shit, talking to my buddies that weren't hardcore on it, they didn't understand. It's like me talking to Andy right now and be like, hey, Andy, I got to talk to you, man. I'm fucking snorting fucking Percocets.
Well, just stop doing
and
it.
then Andy's going to be like, whoa, whatever. Ty scored a hat trick last night. Like, okay, I know, but I'm snorting painkillers. You know, like it's hard to, and it's not like your fault. You don't know, but like it's hard to go to people and be, hey, help me. You have to go to people that really, truly understand. They could be your best friend. They fucking have no clue what you're talking about.
They don't even know.
You need to go to guys that have been through it before.
Chrissy and
Chris,
Eric.
Fuck yes.
They
Chrissy and Eric, dude, they'll be like, okay,
Yes.
okay. What? Okay, I got you. Hey, by the way, you want to text me and tell me? I'll fucking call you on WhatsApp, and I'll go through. I know a bunch of cats, man, I talk to.
Hey.
You want to talk to me too? Find me on
and
WhatsApp,
I'll say
and I'll
this.
talk to you.
I'll say
Swear to
this
God.
too. If you're out, you know, I don't care where you are, but in anywhere in North America, dude, anywhere in the world, you want to come to IRC, and if you're staying there and you're getting help, we'll come visit you.
Goddamn right. I don't know how that works.
I don't know if you're allowed to have visitors.
I don't know.
But when you're allowed to have visitors,
we'll just get a hold of us and tell us your story, and we'll
yes,
talk about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Not publicly.
No,
that's
like
true.
if you're like, hey, Cam, this is what happened to me. This is what they did for us. Like people
Oh,
are
I got
proud
your
of it.
testimonial.
Fuck yeah. Like when I came out, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Right.
Here's what happened.
Right.
Here's what I did. Like I love it.
I'll bring them some first.
You want to
form,
help
dude.
people? Tell us your story.
We'll deliver you first form protein.
Damn right. I tell you my story, man. It helps people. It truly does. Don't think that I'm abnormal. No one's like me. No, there are. They hide it.
888-743-0971 is the phone number.
Damn right.
888-743-0971. info@IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. info@IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. That's the email. But again, if you have any issues, just message us and we'll get you in touch with the proper people and pass along the contact information again.
Yep.
Sparks.com. Get that Sparks today. Use our promo code Cam and Strick. And don't let Seth sharpen your skates at the hockey shop and just ruin your entire weekend or your hockey season.
Imagine you're a billet family and you billeted Seth.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Oh, God. The wife's underwear is missing.
Well, I'll tell you this. Imagine being a kid and you got to go stay with a family and the brother is Seth.
Imagine he's home alone with your daughter. And she's got friends over in the
Okay,
basement.
well,
I'm just saying.
I'm just
telling you.
that never happens.
I'm just telling you.
Let's not paint that picture.
Well, whatever.
That is all.
Just watch out for that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
be careful.
He's a goddamn weirdo.
And he's sharpening skates?
Yeah.
He works at the hockey shop?
Yeah, he gets there and creeps around a little bit. He
only
knows,
way-
he knows your information.
Okay, well, the only way to get around that
He knows your information.
is to get your own skate sharpener. Take your skate sharpening in your own hands and find out why just about every other NHL team in the league has their own Sparks, including the Blues. I saw them have a Sparks machine inside their practice facility.
Nice.
Of course they do. Use that promo code Cam and Strick to save more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Save your money. Get the season off on the right skate.
Hell yeah.
Sparks and Sparks.com. Tesson Roofing, baby. Nano Shield. Tell them about it, Cam.
Hey, protect your house, save money. It's that simple. It's hot as fucking St. Louis. Let the big boys take care of you. Tesson Roofing.
The preferred roofing company of all the major insurance companies, too. Like, if you ask any of the big dogs, like, who do you want to work with? They want to work with Brett Tesson on Tesson
Of course
Roofing.
they do.
Plus, he's my line mate.
Good. You need him.
Brett Tesson, baby. Tesson Roofing. Always a fan, man. Give him a call today and check him out online, TessonRoofing.com, and get that new roof. You know you
Do it
need
now.
You know you need it. Don't wait and then pay the price for it later. Do it now. Get out in front of it. Bellman and Bellman.com. I'm looking for a new car, Danny boy. I'm coming your way. Dale, Kenny, all y'all.
But Ty said get a Porsche. Listen to your son, who's 7 years old. I swear to God, that's the conversation I had with Andy. He's like, Well, Ty wants me to get there. I go, what? What the fuck does that mean? He wanted to be an elephant last year. Now he wants you to get a fucking Porsche. Like, what? Get on with yourself, Andy. Jesus.
I'm gonna get that.
What's your wife want?
She's not
a Bentley?
Big, no,
she want a Bentley?
She's not a big, like... She wants a nice car.
An Aston Martin?
But she's not a... She doesn't know enough about cars to where she's like a big car person.
You can get something cheap and be like, that's fucking badass.
I don't want that either.
Like, Lori, wait, you don't understand? This thing is fucking badass.
It's got to be safe, dude.
It's a Saab.
Just driving my precious kids
No
around.
shit. No, exactly. What's the safest vehicle? How's that? Why don't you ask Bellman? Why don't you ask Danny Boy? Why don't you ask Danny Boy and see what's up?
What's the safest one?
See what's up.
Okay.
You know, you got 3 kids you're hauling around
Bellman
everywhere.
and Bellman.com, located in Troy.
Lori's got to go
and get out
to
there
Sven.
today.
She just needs a regular vehicle.
Hey, use our... check out all our Instagram, social media.
Everything.
Twitter.
Everything.
Facebook.
Follow us on everything.
Follow us, man. Send us messages.
Yeah.
We love hearing from all y'all.
love you guys, man.
Happy Labor Day to each and every one of you. Hope
Hell
you
yeah.
enjoyed Matty Tkachuk, his second appearance. He leads the league in appearances.
Yeah.
On the Cam Strick Podcast.
See you, dudes.
He's got 2. Enjoy the weekend.
Love you guys.
Until next time. Thanks for supporting. As always,
I end the damn show.
the Cam Strick Podcast.